Oh, you have a
Hey, the money.
I also have a high-end knob, but that's like, oh,
Well, there you
Same.
a bit too much. Yeah.
Ladies
That's what
and
she said.
gentlemen, we got him.
I do like that. That is going to be the first thing on the video. Is that's what she said?
Fantastic.
I'm still not seeing. Oh no, I am
Anyway,
now. I am now.
Good hello. Here's
Big
hoping
hello.
everything works. It's weird not doing the thing. It's because throw some.
Panic at the Discord.
Yep.
Panic in the discography.
Brendan, Yuri, if you want to come, like,
Panic in the Taco Bell.
come play at some tea. I imagine he'd be.
Player.
I don't know if I would. Don't know.
Well, sounds like it's happening, so that's good.
Does it sound like players and?
Yep.
Mhm.
We're good. We're good.
We're good.
We're good. I can now mute this nonsense and get into my.
You mean you don't want like 3 versions of your voice reverbing through?
I mean, in fairness, it was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a great man once said.
So,
I don't know.
Welcome.
I don't know.
To Starfinder, the Fragments of Eternity, session 170.
What?
Finally, we got to the finale number. Is what I'll say when we get to the finale.
When we actually get that. 200 episodes.
Hashtag cancelled. Yeah. It's the 8th of March 2022. I'm Ryan, the GM, and here are the players. Also, in fact, before the players even their utter cheap. Happy International Women's Day, everybody. And no Colin. Please continue.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
We're back format well situated. Hi, I'm Alex, coming at you live from an undisclosed compound.
Yes.
Hi, Alex.
And I will be playing Android, the weird. Wait. I'll be playing Weird, the Android explosives expert.
Android explosives. Hello, I'm Nico, the voice for
Hi,
feminism.
Nico.
Happy International Women's Day. All that goodness. And I'm playing Zora, the Vest Captain.
And good evening, and happy National Proofreading Day to our American viewers. I am Colin, and I will be playing Lyco Quint, your sneaky, spooky space cop coast to coast.
See, the more like you do this, the more it seems like you're just women. Like
I hate them. Can't stand them.
Yeah.
There's one thing I hate worse than women, it's men.
Listen, as I said before on this very show, some of my best friends are women.
Some of my best women are friends.
Yeah, same.
Hi.
That.
Yeah.
I will not be talking for the remainder of the day.
Okay.
I am Callum. I will be playing Zig, the mystical space rat from the sun, who has, undergone some life.
Transition.
Same.
Right, so what do you remember from last time?
Lyco's history.
Yep, I do recall that.
And Alice trying to fly.
Yeah.
We got Alice back too. That's the important part of that one.
Reinstated, rebooted, possibly reinstalled Alice.
Recast.
Rooted, tooted, and
recast. We have now. She's
tooted,
now
and
much more
rebooted.
diverse. She's Italian. That's a bad joke, but a person can't really be diverse anyway. It doesn't make sense. You have to be multiples of things to be diverse, people.
Anything else happen last time worthy of note? Besides, we got some
No, you got Alice back.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Alice back. We did indeed.
Unless if you have multiple
Oh
personalities.
yeah,
that
we
probation.
were going places
Yep. Places.
separately, separate places, but together in larger than single groups.
Yes.
Yep. It's got the bioweapon.
We did.
Oh yeah, we got the
That is a
bioweapon.
point that we didn't mention and should have.
We also got the bioweapon, and we got Alice, and Lyko passed, not passed on again, but what happened in the past regarding his passing.
Like
Passed off his passing.
His passing on.
He did pass on his passing on. Yes,
I did.
that's-
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that
That
makes
checks.
sense.
Yeah. That checks out. Yeah.
It's certainly something.
There was some wonderful dialogue. The bridge. Zora, Alice, and.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was uncomfortable. It was extremely uncomfortable.
I mean, it's extremely
I
uncomfortable
just
speaking to two
forgot
people at
I
the same
pulled a
time.
weird one. It's like, were we a thing? Dude. Oh, that's it. We can quit now. We've peaked.
Yeah. We knew that at like episode 9, I think, though. So,
Yeah, true.
oh, I tried to pick a number that didn't feel like I was insulting you specifically there.
I see what you did
The
there.
earlier I went, the more I risked you not being part of
Yeah,
it.
we did two episodes. That's all downhill from there. I'm like, no.
much like newfound glory. That's just the thing I like to say sometimes.
No, it's okay. The goals, folks.
Ooh, we didn't do that last time.
Be surprised
Goals.
how often it comes up.
Have a personal hand in the death of Demigash.
Ah, that's something I did not do.
Clarify Babak's intentions with the fleet.
I don't have it open, but it's kill Matfa.
Indeed.
Mine's something to do with, I'm in it now, fix the Nida's death.
It still sounds like you're making it happen.
Either or.
Yeah.
It's always make a goal
Well,
really
no,
achievable.
and the thing is, in order to fix something, it has to happen to fix, you know?
And what does that?
Or you're
No.
fixing forth the Nida's death.
In Zig's world, it's easier to kill her and then go back and fix it temporally than it is to just treat the illness.
Yeah.
He's got a revive spell, man. He probably just wants her to die so he can cast it, right?
Well,
Like-
no, there's a few
I
conditions
thought that
for
was the
that.
plan. Like, I honestly
That
thought
was my plan.
Yeah.
That's
And
basically
what is a
my
plan?
Oh, dear.
Something we have.
It's something we spend 3 sessions talking about, and then 1 session
Then
ignoring
not
entirely.
executing.
I recognise many of these words
Okay. Right.
and the order that they're in.
So, what are these other ones? So, enact plan with a bioweapon. There's one of them.
Yes,
What's
there's
the
a plan.
rest?
Let's see. Unless somebody else help him bring in Bonesides into anti-airglass plan. Restore Alice to unfactory settings. Ambiguously rescue Shakos. Loop in as many allies into Plan B.
Ambiguously because it's not clear she's in need of rescue, not because we want to do something called an
Oh,
ambiguous
right, okay. It's like, well, from a certain point of view, we really just rescued her from life.
It's
Um,
everything from a certain point of view, though, really.
No, you're either
oh,
with
well.
me, for me, or against
Listen,
me.
Anakin.
Grr.
only the prequels.
I am
know.
Anakin Skyrat.
Ratican.
Can't wait
Scamper
till
Walker.
Anakin
Yeah.
versus
Bit about it.
Obi. Did you hear? We're getting even more epic battles between Anakin Skywalker and Ben Kenobi.
But he
Oh,
said
I'm so
last time they
excited for
left-
Star Wars!
But last time he said when they met that he was just the apprentice.
Remember, though,
Can that be
right?
true?
Remember,
If they met since then.
it's the same as now these new characters that have like 20 years now of like continuity between things like Clone Wars and like say like Boba Fett or Mandalorian TV shows. and they've aged like not a single jot. And you've got like the same length of time for Boba Fett, who's aged insanely for like up to Tamara Morrison. So
Still think it's dumb as shit that we've got.
Rough life.
I mean, clones age faster. You can say
Yeah,
that.
that's
his
fine.
was
Like,
specifically said it
problem
wasn't.
recording.
I get that
Oh,
maybe it's a
yeah.
defective the one, right? You could still be defective. The
Fine.
Kaminoans could have got it fucked up. So anyway,
Kaminoans.
I'm
Can't trust
not
them
going
with
to get talking about
If you
Star
think
Wars too
about it too much, it hurts. It's fine.
that. My least favorite thing is actually that we are probably now all older than the Galactic Empire was when it fell apart.
Yeah,
They really should have made it.
more
an
like
actual
the
thing.
Weimar Galactic Empire.
So
Well done.
Thank
Palatido.
you. Guess.
so anyway, those are the goals.
More like the Galactic Weimar Republic. Sorry, that was better.
Okay, better, yeah.
I do.
Like and subscribe for more of that.
Oh dear. Yeah, all that sweet, sweet goodness where we're trying to get games. Try. We all often fail. But I mean, I feel like if somebody was going to watch for this long, if they did start this channel, I feel like they're here for this content.
That's true.
Yeah,
Welcome to Game Starter.
Yeah.
they're
well,
certainly not here for people actually being good at RP or playing the game or
I'd say
using
the
it.
Harshies are pretty good at RP, I'd say, right? Yeah.
We're all right.
I think these are all pretty good.
Only not here for anyone respecting the game system they spent
Correct.
3-4 years playing.
Like 3 years banked, and we're in our 4th calendar year. Is the maths to that one? 4
We've
in
still got
October.
another 3 to go.
Oh. Well, if you want to do your like fucking 4 more years of Starfinder, we need
4
another
more
3 years on the clock, yeah. Because you did say it to me last year, possibly.
Why
the
don't we
year
just
before.
start again? Let's right. We've clearly just we've gone.
This is the tutorial. Yeah, we've done it. We can.
Yeah.
Sig, you're
We
like,
now
if anyone's
understand
going to
it.
make us reboot, it's going to be you.
That is works on so many levels for Callum. Beep boop, beep beep.
Oh.
Some of those.
Well, I intend to find out.
I'll put some buttons in. Boop. Chat.
Yes. I come from the net.
But I come from the sun. You need to do an intro for Zig like that now. It's the law.
I come from the sun. There were pacts, worlds to this place.
11th hour, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You know the McDonald's theory,
No.
right?
Okay.
The idea is like the McDonald's theory of what is it? Alex, you know this.
Alex,
will.
finish
I
my
bet he
thought
does.
for me.
McDonald's theory.
The McDonald's theory of something. So the idea is that, and it's
Farms.
bullshit. It's been bullshit for a while.
Also, hi Siren. Welcome to this.
Hello.
There's like a maxim,
Welcome.
which is that no two countries with
You missed
McDonald's
nothing.
wage war on each other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's wrong.
I think very wrong. But I think it's also interesting that symbolically that McDonald's has pulled out of Russia.
Yeah, well, it's just this concept that globalization would make us so economically dependent on
Aye,
each other
sir.
that we would never go to war with each other. Which, if anyone has ever studied war before, you'd know it's total bullshit. People will definitely go to war with someone they're
Yeah.
totally linked to economically.
And did
so
in this occasion very much do that.
Yes.
I'm all right, thank you. I just I wanted to share that thought.
Oh.
I
Zig
stand with Ukraine.
and Zora.
Yes.
Same.
I was gonna say Zig and Zora. Just because it sounds like a nice breakfast.
Zig and Zora
Zizi.
are in separate places. We
Because
shall
that
zoom
way
in
maybe
on.
Don't get me and Lyko talking about this.
So anyway, like
yeah, that's probably advisable.
That's why we separated like when we were like, see.
it's
You
generally why
just
for the
start
whole
talking about
game,
in character.
But they're thematically from 2 separate games anyway.
pretty much to be fair. It's the genres they're different. One's a cyberpunk,
Yeah.
the one's a fucking film noir, and there's enough of an overlap in them. That's why they go on.
Well, Zig and Zora are the overlap.
Yeah,
Let's,
yeah, yeah.
The overlap is like your tag team name. They've been killing it in the indies, mostly in the West Coast. Done
It's
some
also
really
probably a
good
strip club
stuff
in Edinburgh.
over in H2O. You know, but you know,
No, I
they're
actually
hoping
almost got
to
started
make it
there.
into big
Like
thing.
I was so close.
I know. I felt it.
You thought you were gonna get no
And
wrestling references
with
from me
the
tonight. I could feel it,
shotgun.
and I needed to get one in.
Yeah,
Roman
that's okay.
Reigns was a pointless answer on Pointless today.
Really?
You know, Roman Reigns is a pointless answer to a lot of things.
No.
I have nothing against the man. I just think, I functionally as a narrative device, a bad guy exists as a challenge for good guys, right? Essentially, but when the bad guy is the thing that everything the show is about, Roman Reigns was an interesting heel for about 5 minutes. Then he became just a more boring version of his former self who dominates even more time on every show every week.
Sadly, Siren, we have already done what happened last time. We actually managed that part.
Chant of the Ever Circling Skeletal Family was my best.
Sorry, say that again?
Chant of the Ever Circle Skeletal Family was the best pointless answer I ever got. I was quite proud of it.
What is that? That sounds great.
It's a David Bowie
You
song.
okay, Ryan?
I'll be here.
Send me it. Link me it. Also, what were we playing?
Starfinder, the Fragments of Eternity.
The
Okay,
fragments
cool.
Of Ryan's sanity.
Chant of the
I need to
Circling
get
Skeletal
the alternative title back on the screen. Well, Goblins of Chaos.
Goblins of Chaos.
Yeah, does sound a bit like a Glory Hammer song, doesn't it?
It does. Glory Hammer, if I recall, are currently cancelled, but we'll get back to you with further details.
Hopefully. Sorry, Emma.
Cancelled.
Yeah, but we're not going to get to that. We're going to talk about why Lyco and Zig.
I want music politics. I'm just
Lyco. That's what I think of when I think of music politics. I think Lupe and Nico.
Uh-huh.
Oh dear. Anyway, versus.
Yes.
The world.
Yes.
Are we there now? Are we there yet?
There.
Oh, good. Whew. I wasn't sure how that was gonna.
The cliffhanger last time was zooming away. Them jump. So.
It just took a whole week for the aim to decide if Urgalas was going to gank them or not.
Do I just want to kill them
Do
off and then
I?
only have one
Or
crew to
do I
deal with?
not?
Just have you guys crash
Urgalas.
into
Oh
Abalone.
no.
If I kill two of them now, that's 50% of the problem gone.
Welcome to Elibrian or no Elibrian.
What I'll do is I'll just start assigning like all the NPCs I've been playing forever, like just to the players until we run out of characters full stop. That's alright. Yeah.
Just turn into like a roguelike.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean,
Basically, you
I look
did that
forward
with
to
the
Q-Bob played
Dungeon
by
World.
Colin.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, right, so yeah, I was gonna say, like, let's face it,
It was.
let's say Lyco and Zig did die. Like, who's the first? What's your go-to NPCs to steal?
I would. Do you know what? Just for a change, I would probably try and like pick up someone like Bob.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, are you prepared to do the voice though? That's the thing.
Well, what do we have here?
Callum, it's International Women's Day. This isn't okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is fucking harassment of some sort.
I
I'm pretty
guess.
sure.
I guess.
Well, you'd know, Nico. You're the voice of feminism.
Yeah.
Yes. Hashtag voice of feminist.
Quite frankly, I just felt violated.
Well, isn't that the entire character?
Absolutely.
You nailed it. I am an actor.
Listen, you can tell he's an actor because he pronounced it with the
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
he
Tor.
done
Tor
the
is the
Tor.
important. Yes. An actor.
An actor in the theatre.
Ideally, you want to look up. You can list
Theater.
flick as well. No.
I actually did as well.
Nice. It's because it's the rules, Callum. It's the rules.
Théâtre.
I don't make the
Théâtre des
rules.
vampires. Remember the
Oh, the
Théâtre des
Theatre de
vampires?
Vampire.
Also,
Ugh.
Theator was Callum's last character he played with.
It was,
Theator
yeah.
was
That's
my,
true.
my last character.
The one that I drove out of the game.
That's true. Yeah.
Wow, harsh. So, Colin, who would you
Conflict
take if
interest.
Flyco died? What NPC are you stealing from me?
That's a really, really tough question, but I think the answer is Urglass.
Yeah, okay.
You bastard.
Just listen, I'm basically the antagonist anyway at this point.
I mean, you're the
You can
antagonist
see where
to
they're
the
coming
game.
from, but they're clearly doing the wrong thing. Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
Colin.
dear. Okay, that's interesting. What about Alex and what about you? So if you've lost your character and you've got to steal an NPC?
Just give me Morty, man. Like,
Morty,
fuck it.
okay,
Hi, guys.
That'd be so different from Zora as well.
but I don't know what to do, man.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Morty, right, yep. What about you, Alex? Who's taken?
Mr. To Go of Show Bad To Go.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Why am I not surprised it's a showbad that you chose, though? With all the NPCs.
He's the one-man
Most
army.
To
intimidating.
be fair, if I actually thought about it in the moment, I would have done that so bad that I hugged because he was just chill. He was just so chill, man.
That's interesting. Yeah, no one's gone for White Blossom. That is an
Yeah.
interesting point because he is, he's a Yakuza dragon.
Oh,
That's
that's
pretty
true.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it
Too
interesting
powerful.
that he's a Western style dragon?
But I would have went with Charles Dancer, like White Blossom,
Yeah.
just because I know he would have like some fucking bullshit plan to fuck your White Blossom one day.
He'd have the great,
Yeah.
look at people with the eyes of sarcasm.
I'm deeply sad that nobody took Ivan. Like, I could have
Ivan was going to be
sworn-
one of my picks.
I don't know that
nobody
I'd want to
could do
pick
Ivan
a negative int character. I think that'd be hard
Remember,
to
it
play
wasn't
in a way
negative
that
int,
wasn't.
it was a non-int score. There's a line dashed through it.
Okay,
How
well,
would you RP? Like Ivan would have just be like
I've RP'd Ivan! You interacted
Ivan
with him!
waffles.
I didn't want to take another member of the crew, because otherwise I'd have to take CC or Alice.
Yeah,
It all gets a bit too complicated.
yeah,
My feelings.
that's fair.
Yeah. No, I could play the Imperatrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We haven't seen her.
Is she
in
really an
screen yet.
NPC? Because she hasn't actually
Yeah.
turned up
She's
yet.
only been mentioned in the abstract, so yeah, I don't know if she counts.
Yeah, she might just be like in the manual.
Mhm.
In that
Is
case,
that a bit of flavor text?
I'll play one of Demogesh's guards. that
Yeah,
we've definitely
okay.
met.
Nice.
Yeah, there's been
And
a
then
lot
you
of
could
them.
kill
so
him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not the Madvin then. Nobody wanted the Madvin.
Who?
I was
Exactly.
thinking about it, but I thought I would swap
No.
it up, you know.
Yeah, just not jump around the Vesk. Yeah. Not the Mogesh.
Yeah.
I was going to say Thanida, but I was like asked to.
Yeah.
Like, and it's too close to Zig, you
Be
know.
controversial. Be Lantoral. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, you know,
Ooh.
Lantral's quite edgy. I
Yeah.
could maybe go
Ooh.
Lantral.
Go out and go.
Could I be the grandparents instead?
Oh, that! Remember that quest line you were chasing?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, yeah.
Interesting. MO, yeah,
Wait.
MO was alright. Yeah.
Ah, jeez, Rick.
Oh, jeez. For legal
I
reasons,
wish I
it's
could
oh,
do a
jeez,
Morty
Mass
voice.
McKecklick.
Oh yeah, oh jeez, Mick.
Oh, jeez, click. No, it's hard. It's very hard.
Or
to do.
click. Is that what it is? Like, fucking, oh jeez, click.
Click works. Yeah, click's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, CC, yep, that's also a fan favourite.
Ah,
Yeah, literally just screaming.
Yeah,
Gremlin
that's
noises.
how I would play him. I wouldn't play him so much gribbly as more shouty, like.
Yep, fair.
Much like Lyco then.
Wow,
Wow, harsh.
how
What-
dare you? Lyco has an American accent.
Good.
It's
they
not
all
clear
kinda sound
which
funny.
one, but he has
Oh, yeah?
an American accent.
What about Sparks? Nobody fancy playing Sparks?
Sparks is on my list.
Yeah.
But
No,
of all of the
fuck
people on oh man, I could play as that guy that shot the snowboarder. He's gonna have a really fun personal storyline going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do that.
The guy on the
fun.
bus. Yeah, the guy on the bus that shot
Yeah.
Bianca.
The guy.
I was going to say, could I play Bianca Fame?
completely ruined the life of
Look, she's dead
forever.
now, right?
Fame, is that her name? I can't remember.
Bianca.
Yeah, but maybe she comes
was
back
it
as a
Fane?
Barai.
Fane, I think
Bianca
it was.
Fane.
Yeah,
Was
I
it
don't know if
Bianca
it was Fane or Thane, but it was definitely Fane. It was a Fane or a Thane.
Yeah, like I just thought it was like I knew it wasn't Bane. I felt.
I
Bianca
thought it was
Bane.
Fane, like what is it? Fane.
I thought it was
like an
Fame,
altar
as in
or
you're a
something?
famous person.
What shed?
I
What
thought
number
it
was that? What session number was that? Guys, you should know this.
Why would we know this?
I refuse to know anything.
Definitely feel like I'd have wrote her name down because it was it was bad. Right, so here's session 45. Just the giant word electroencephalon at the top of the page. So that was okay. Okay, where are we? That's no further back. Castroville Culture Center. That's when Michael met up with a newspaper. Is it after that or before?
It was on Versus, right? Or was it when we were on Versus?
It
I
was,
can't remember.
no,
It was right
August-
before
it was
we
on
met
Akaton.
SK in her,
Yeah, it was on
and we were
Akaton.
going to see the
Yeah,
doobly-doos, the bon sages.
Yeah, you were heading to try
On
and see
Sages.
Bon sages.
Ramasethu's who you see. Don't you fancy playing her?
Ramasethu would be interesting, but it would be very, very difficult.
Well, you would know what was happening.
You would
like,
just say, well, as
before it
you
happened,
remember,
or
when we had that meeting. That's how
You
you'd
said.
You're just always talking past tense, man.
Yeah.
Easy.
I love Ramasethu for that. I think it's a really cool like NPC quirk. Forgot.
I think it's definitely an NPC quirk, though.
Yes, yes. It would be very difficult to actually make work as a player.
I would play like an all lich party, sure. Space lich, whatever.
Bitch.
Bitch!
Just checking
Why?
for the
Hey,
voice of
Nico,
feminism, yep.
on International Women's Day? Really?
I meant to be bitches as well.
During
That is
Pride?
true.
I know it's not Pride, but I like saying that.
Do you know, it might be somebody's pride, right? Somebody's pride. It's for every country, legalized it.
I thought it was like an international day. I'll be honest with you.
I think because I'm pretty sure somebody does it in like August, and we do it in like June, I think it is. I hope it's June.
Is that listen? I've never really been to a Pride march, or I say never really. I mean, I haven't, but I just put like a qualifier in there because people speak like that.
Yeah. Well, I have her name written. I just don't know what session it is. So let me go. Because we know.
We lost a viewer. I'm sorry. A viewer who left because they haven't been to a Pride. It's not like I'm against it. Just so we're clear.
So. Absalom, so that was. So now. Side up. Says. Salvage.
Oh
Ooh,
no.
the stream went down for me.
Yep, same.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Still exists.
Oh, it's
for
not
me.
fine. It's just that it's not me.
I
Oh my
should
goodness!
reload.
Oh my goodness! There's like 4 pixels. Oh, there we go.
You good?
There's several pixels. I'm seeing more than enough pixels now.
Okay. All good. Yeah.
The pixels have returned.
Dinosaurus
The
Rex,
return
that
of
was
the
a thing that we had in
pixels.
session.
Return of the Mac.
Turn up the
Ah,
man.
I guess
Thank
we
you.
just suck.
Thanks, Siren. Welcome
Welcome.
in for
Wee
the
wee.
flag. Let's see.
Every
Discard. Or the crew. On Android. Sun. Dead Ringer. Session 51. That's when that. You know something? It was literally the page I was about to go onto on my notes.
nice.
Session 50. There we go. One. It is Bianca Fane. Well done. Faine.
Effie,
done.
There we go.
Okay.
INE. Cool.
Amazing.
And I thought it was Fane. I just wasn't sure if it was like TH or F, basically.
like journalist that died in a shuttle accident that wrote a book. Well, and Lyko looked this up.
That does ring a bell.
Lysander Jarlin, I think it was.
Was
it isn't in
that
my
Lord
notes.
Grey stuff?
No, this was before that by quite a bit. This was the stuff to
Oh.
do with
Bone Sages?
the Vesk.
This is a Vesk thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
like-
I don't remember reading up in Vesk stuff, but that makes sense. I
it wa-
would.
It was a while ago, and it was you were reading up stuff about the something in the Viscarum that happened, and this journalist had like wrote a book about it, and then they mysteriously died in a shuttle accident.
He mysteriously fell out of a closed first story window and
Oh yeah,
exploded.
Ryan, you are gone.
Oh, I am actually gone. That's okay. That's just my camera.
No! You were supposed to destroy the background graphic.
Not become it.
The meeting has
Yeah,
ended.
no,
After
join it. That's
idle
what I was going
time.
for.
Like what? Since when has idle meetings been a problem? Guess I'll make a new meeting. Fuck you. Zoom.
It's like, oh, people actually joined you this
Yeah.
time. You can't.
Oh dear.
And he's back. It's all right.
Yay.
Calm down.
Good. Yep, indeed. Thanks, Robbie. Finally integrated into the digital world. It was
Yes,
about bloody time.
20th century digital boy.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, so let's maybe keep going. Right, so at least we found out it was Bianca Fane. That's super
That
important.
was you that time, just so we're clear.
I did want to know the answer though, because in my head it was like B and B rather than B and F. So,
Burn.
but
Right.
yeah, but no, I don't think you can pick people that have already died, because the point here, Callum, was that your character
I
dies.
did.
So who do you pick? Only technically. Also, tangent, yay! Thanks, Siren. Thank you very much.
Bianca the Barai.
Yes. Oh dear. We'll get there eventually, guys. Honest, the finale is so close, right? It's just over the hurdle that is us. My notes for this
Yeah,
week
the
so far are
only
just
thing-
the date, which felt appropriate.
No planning involved. You can't
No,
take
that is-
into
yeah.
account well
This is
shenanigans.
spontaneous, man. This is improv. This is cutting edge, avant-garde, other words.
Yeah,
It
Most
sounds
shit,
like
isn't it?
you mean something really profound.
Alec, come on, have some like.
I missed what you said. I'm assuming it was horrific.
Just
I just said most improv shit.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
Oh dear. Nobody want to be associate button? No? Okay.
She got a
I
bit
thought you
pincushion,
she's
Vanna.
dead.
Mhm,
She's
mhm.
very dead.
I mean, you'd hope so.
Among the dead, I mean, if she's alive, and I hope they've been able to do some work on that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lyko and Zig, user on the
Yep.
planet Versus,
Yes.
the wonderful tidally locked, I think that's the term is, planet. So yes, user in the city strip. I believe yous wanted to land on the landing pad itself of the steward's headquarters.
That was the idea.
That's
Yep.
the plan.
Thank God that all just came back to me there. And yeah, like that's where yous are. It's probably like as busy as it would normally be, like shuttles coming and going constantly. The fact that yous pop in probably startles a bunch of people, but not enough that it's super weird since people can teleport in this world anyway.
That is the thing that
Yeah.
people can do.
Yeah.
Granted,
Granted though, not every again I'm going back to in a 20 level system you should probably assume that most people peak at level 15. So the fact that yous are level 20 is kicking about is pretty impressive. So
yeah, I don't expect it's an everyday occurrence for most of these people, but I think my first course of action here is to thank Zig. So I'm gonna do that. And here we are. Thank you for the right. I guess.
No problem. It's all good.
Okay. So, and then you'll just sort of start heading towards the door. I assume there's
Yeah.
a door.
yeah, obviously there's the door off the landing pad that you go in. You're probably looked at by like one of the officers inside who just kind of like raises an eyebrow at like you and your companion.
Is there anything to actually bar our way at this point, or can we just continue?
Yeah, like there is like a security checkpoint, right? Like, can you just
Okay,
enter the thing?
I will activate my badge, and if there's a thing to hold it to, just hold it to it. You know.
Yeah, and like the equivalent of buzzing yourself through, I guess. Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly what
Yep.
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't say that because words are hard.
That's okay. Yeah. And
Me,
obviously,
an English grad.
and like this guy, like, is probably going to be able to check like your rank rather than have to question why you're letting Zig walk through in front of you before you walk through. As you buzz him through as well. He's obviously not going to question that.
My rank is ambiguous. I think was what we discovered.
Well, remember, Link, there's a couple of people above you in the pecking order. Because remember we established that Article 1 would have been a higher rank than you, which is why it was impressive that you were getting her as a personal pilot.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure that we're I'm
but beyond that, like,
highest,
but yeah, like, I think again you're maybe not a million miles away from like the same position like Zora finds himself in terms of like hierarchy in a structure. Like you're maybe
Okay.
maybe third or fourth from like the top for if we're assuming Babak is the top and not the Pact World's government.
I didn't realize he was giving me quite that much authority when I rejoined. That's interesting.
Yeah, well
I'm
remember
trying not to
he did.
abuse it.
Remember he did kind of say, kind of need you to be useful to him. So yeah.
I got more of the impression that he was basically saying, "I'm giving you carte blanche to go and be Lyco about this."
But yeah, like it'd be like the equivalent of getting like a commander rank or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like pretty reasonable that you can take charge of like entire projects if need be. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
But you're still
so
called
if that
officer,
lets us
and
do
you would have been
fine.
called detective, I guess, previously.
Yeah.
Something I've never called you, which is weird because it's always been officer, but detective is probably what you would have
I think
been.
these sort of like last couple of years in the force, he would have made that rank.
Mhm.
As I think he was relatively new to his sort of detective position when he passed on, euphemistically, as you say. But he certainly had moved into an investigative role.
Yeah.
So I could just continue through, and I'll go look for the lab of Mrs. Hair Metal.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Helene.
Oh,
For those of you who
yes.
don't get my terrible joke.
Jump!
Dr. Vanadia Helen, yes. Yes, you head through. And like I guess Zig, like you're like obviously following, I guess, closely behind.
Yeah, he's falling pretty close. Like he doesn't want
Please
to
do.
fall. Like
Don't get lost in the fucking
Yes.
galactic police headquarters. Not galactic because they're within one's, but still.
Yeah, no, like it's. I mean, it's not an unreasonable thing to say galactic. It is the Pact world, so it's the solar system police. But they, I mean, if there was enough of an issue, they'd probably go galactic, right?
Interplanetary police force.
Oh my, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
But in intergalactic planetary is what the Beastie Boys did say.
Yes. Yeah, so you've also like so you look around here and it's a fairly like busy, bustling like as I said, police like HQ. I think you've been here once before. I think, and I don't mean with Sindael. I mean previous to that, because I think everybody I think you all picked up Lyco from like essentially the helipad, as it were, like the landing pad area. But I can't remember if you were actually in the building or not. But yeah, as I say, big HQ building, quite fancy. As I said, it's pretty much where the stewards operate out of on the Versus. And yeah, like as you can like descend the levels of the building, you get into more and more the public facing side of things, and you see more like people waiting to be processed, etc., etc. Becomes more like almost like a police station almost. As you progress down, and you start to like hit the elevators and go down into the kind of sub basement levels where Helene's lab is. You get down there, Lyco, you head to the lab, and yeah, like do you walk in or do you like knock and wait?
I walk in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll announce myself as I do.
Yeah.
I'd probably rather than announce myself, just like sort of say her name aloud to announce that I'm coming in and get her attention. Just go, Dr. Helene, as I enter.
And the room's empty.
I go back out.
You hope it loads again and just go back in.
I sort of like think for a moment, try to remember where Chakos was.
Now, that was her lab, remember?
Was Shakos actually in the lab? I thought we went to somewhere else to see her.
Remember, she had the side of the wall was all the storage units.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking where it's the second location. But that
It's
makes sense.
because you were in her office previously, but she does like
Right.
mostly work out of her lab. Her office seems pretty like she doesn't have much time to spend there basically. But that was like up a floor or
Wait.
something.
Well, since the lab, sorry, was where Shakos was, as you point out,
Mhm.
was Shakos there?
All obviously you wouldn't be able to see into like the storage.
Yeah, I
units.
would have to
It's more
check.
very much like a morgue wall. Remember?
You're right. So I wouldn't be able to tell at a glance. In
But you could go up to the wall and like bring up the data pads and stuff that are on them, if that makes sense, and you could. Like,
I don't know that he would check automatically like that.
'Kay.
I think he would want to speak to her, and he would assume.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think it
The
would-
fact that
I
this
think he
door
would
was
assume he
open
would have heard.
is weird, by the way. As well, the fact that nobody's in it and it's open is strange.
Is there like? Can I just comment to the main? Is there like paging a Dr. Helene thing? Is
Yeah,
that an
probably
option?
through your badge. Yeah.
Then I will do that. I will touch the button like some sort of sci-fi show from the 60s. And say, Dr. Helene.
And you get the equivalent of like maybe it's like 3 different tones, like audible tones that just let you know that it's like the out of office tones.
Damn. Is there like a switchboard I can call?
There probably will be. There'll be like a panel on the wall somewhere, right? That will get you
I'm
to
gonna
somebody.
look down and say, I can't get hold of her. Should maybe have thought of that first. Let me go and try and then I'll go and find a nearby panel I can access.
I'm gonna do like some kind of. Do I go like the general customer service alone, or do I go like general like the internal inquiries?
Yeah, internal.
Yeah, and like you,
And see if I can like put in a request for her location.
yeah, and like you like buzz through to that, and you hear like I'm IGI. How can I help?
Hey, this is Lyco Quint. I'm looking for Dr. Helene. Her lab is open, but I can't find her. Is she on site? I can't reach her.
Just one moment, and then you hear the clack of whatever the Space Future keyboards are, and then see they seem to have been transferred off site.
See,
Suspicious.
was this urgent business?
And then there's like it seemed to happen in the last 12 hours.
Would it be possible to alert me when she's back on premises?
Sure thing. And you get like
Okay,
a kind
thank
of
you
like
very much.
you get like the equivalent ping on your like calm calendar or whatever. Whatever your business email is, Yeah. Get the equivalent like reminder note in there. Anything else?
That'll be all. Thank you very much.
No problem. And then it disconnects.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Zeg a moment and just like I'm thinking, but I've been looking at him just not to be rude.
Mm.
So I'm probably gonna stare at him slightly longer than I should as my sort
Yeah.
of mental cogs turn.
Remember, you've got 2 days of privacy. Keep in mind, calm eyes, because the others won't be able to hear you if you mind calm for 2 days.
Sure.
Yeah.
But he's not thinking anything specific at the moment, as so much as turning over like, okay, what could that mean? This looks like it's been sent, blah blah blah. So yeah, like
Could go look into the. Obviously, you could log into a terminal and try and actually look it up yourself if you wanted. That is something you could do if you were wanting to pursue that, or if you've got something else you want to do, let me know.
I think that I think that he would probably be happy enough having checked that it would be able to. But what I will do is actually now go inside
Mhm.
and have a look, because now he's concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go back to the lab,
Um,
basically.
yeah,
Like
and
so
I'm gonna. I will explain what we're doing as we sort of start.
as soon as you walk back to the lab door as well, I'll let you explain in a wee second. But as soon as you get there, door's locked.
Yeah. I would. I suppose I would just. It probably wasn't very far, so I would just start saying, she's not. Yeah, she's not on site. She's been called away for something recent. And I think, being that it's Lyco, you
Mhm.
would probably just end up hitting into the door.
Yeah, like assuming it would just open again.
Yeah.
But you can
I'd
definitely
step back.
guess that that person in like the internal general inquiries line has obviously locked the lab since you've told them. You know.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. You know what? Before I do that, before I start complaining, what I would do is actually take a step back and say, "You try that first."
Ziggle just tried the door.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
open, obviously. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
All too
sometimes
familiar.
doors.
Yep. That's an old
That's
reference. That is as well.
Yeah. It took me a second before I got it as well. I was like what?
Is there any sort of terminal on the door that I could maybe try and lock it from? Or
I
is
mean,
that
like
just what I've done? I have to do.
you could use like your clearance to open it if you wanted.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can just get into it with
Yeah.
my clearance.
Yep.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
only difference is it would leave a
Then
trail.
we'll do
That's
that.
it, obviously. But
I'm
that's
fine with
yeah.
that.
Yep.
I've already left a trail at this point, and I don't really care. I have every reason to be here. It's my case.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you put your badge over the door. You hit the "I'm Lyco" button, and then the lab buzzes open. The only thing that does is it'll put a login saying you requested access. Like which means if Helene's upset you spaghetti, she'll probably shout at you. But who cares at this point?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's literally the only consequences here at this stage. Yep. So yeah,
If it
the door
gets off
opens.
scot free, it's fine.
So yeah, lab door opens again.
I
Cool.
will enter personally. I don't know about.
Zig's definitely going in, yeah, for sure.
Go.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then the first course of action would be to just go over and have a check, quick check of her vitals, etc. Assuming she's there, which
Yep.
we do have some reason to think she might not be, but we'll find out.
Yeah, so you go over to like the big wall of like I can't remember what I said last time. It was like 20 or so like storage chambers like stacked a bit like again a morgue wall, and yep, you bring up like the one that you know that Shakos would have been since you've been here a few times, and yeah, it's empty, like the equivalent of a vacant sign on the digital pad, or like not in use, or on standby or whatever the term would need to be.
I think he just looks at it for a moment, runs his hand through his hair. Okay.
And Zig, you have been in this lab before. This is where Sindel brought you.
Right, okay, cool.
Like when you went, like remember you and Sindel went and looked at all the kind of like bodies
Yeah.
on the wall.
Is there like I guess could Zig kind of just look around and kind of have a look out for any sort of maybe sort of signs of like a rushed like
Yeah, it doesn't
departure,
take long to
like
spot the fact that there is a cup of coffee like sat on the desk.
yeah, as in yeah, it wasn't like, oh, you're being transferred to this place, okay, I'll shut everything down and just make my way. It was like
The very fact that
seems
the
more
lab
like
was left open
gone.
is odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Considering how quick the digital locking took place, as soon as Lycode reported it.
yeah.
It's very odd. So yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, beyond what I said there, like there's nothing that looks super out of place because you wouldn't know what's like necessarily out of place in the lab, but the fact that there is things like a coffee cup and maybe like a half-eaten sandwich or whatever, like would imply someone's
That's what I
just
was
like
looking for. I was looking for
Yeah.
the half-eaten
Yeah.
sandwich. It's
Yeah.
exactly what my brain thought. I was like, I wonder if there's like half-eaten.
Yeah.
pieces on it.
you get the all the telltale signs that somebody like stood up and walked away, assuming they're likely to probably come back, and then didn't.
Mhm.
And I think like Lyko, you'd get the impression that Helen wouldn't leave a half-eaten sandwich in her lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also get the impression she wouldn't leave the bloody door open.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever she's had to do has probably involved Shakos. If she's taken her out of here, she's either taken her in some other form of transport, or she's able to, or she's recovered.
Keep in mind these things aren't mobile. These storage chambers.
Yeah.
So like having, if you were going to transfer someone, you'd like take them out of it and move them into like another like mobile one, just in case you're wondering what you would already know.
I assumed it would be far too large and clunky.
That's why Weird doesn't have any yet.
Is there like on the actual like things? Is there like a log of like how long ago it was opened and stuff like that?
Like doesn't seem like it's that kind of like detailed, but if you got into like the metadata of the actual thing, probably like you'd be able to like find out when like the system had like shut down whatever it was doing, like its stasis field. You could probably find that out, but it would involve like rooting around in its code.
I'd kill for
I
Weird.
don't think either of us are the best at that, but I mean,
No.
how are you at computers?
I have a +2 to computers.
Okay, yeah, it should be me. I listen. I'm an operative.
I like the fact that this is
I,
your
uh,
business
Can I
card.
help you in
Lyco
some
Quint,
way?
I
operative.
think you can help me maybe, but I don't know
Remember-
if there's any mechanical bonus to it. But
There is,
That's
remember, the help mechanic is you need to roll a successful check against the check, and then you can add a +2, I think it is, to Lyco's roll.
Yeah.
okay.
I might as well try, like, unless
Yeah,
I
give
guess
it a go.
I
We'll have
doubt
you
I'm
roll
gonna
computers
hinder
first.
too much.
And yes,
yeah,
folks
I'll
at
do
home,
that.
we are saying computers weirdly.
Computers.
Computers.
You don't help.
Okay, that's fine.
But maybe
I think
if-
like
if you
every
don't-
time Lyco's doing something, Zig's just like, I think,
I've rolled.
well, you know, it
I think it's your
I know you've got it. It's
it's your suggestion. So that was the role was for.
That
Is
was my
basically you
contribution.
suggesting things, right?
Speaking, it's a free action.
It's like no,
Uh,
he'll like every time Lyco's about to do something, Zig's like, I think you should, and then Lyco will do it or do something else that solves the problem or whatever, and just like way before Zig even like it
And to be
leaves
fair,
his
we've seen
Okay.
Lyco fairly adept at some tech, right? Remember when the
he's
Keyvalari?
all right.
You did
He's
hack your
gotta
way
be
through
at
most of the
least
Keyvalari
passable.
doors. Considering like the captain sat down to actually hack the captain's computer in the Keyvalari, Weird just floated through everything, activating
Yeah.
everything, and then you had to run around actually fighting everything by opening all the doors. It was a wonderful let's change the roles of the crew session.
technology.
So having done a little bit of rooting around in the code, do we find anything of interest?
Yeah, it seems to tie up with the what that IGI agent told you, like about 12 or so hours ago. This stasis field was shut down.
Okay. Weird. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
I
mean
miss him
weird.
too.
I mean, odd. Strange.
Oh yes, that too.
It's they've had all the time in the world to inform me. This is my case, and Shakos is my friend. That's
Mhm.
not prevented them from handing me this case. So if they have an objection to that, that's news to me. And I don't think that's what this is. So why?
Maybe there's something that's changed. Perhaps they were relying on your friend not being present.
So you've met Shakos.
Yeah, I know, but he still referred to this as your friend.
Yeah, it's not like he knows we're Rel or anything.
It's not Zig's
That's fair.
friend.
No, that's perfectly reasonable. What? This doesn't ease my mind. That's all. He says that out loud, but internally he would also add, if anything, it makes me considerably more suspicious.
Me too. In brain.
Out loud again and say, we should see if we can find any details or information of any sort about what you might have. Seems unlikely, but is there like a panel over there that I can access that is like a general use, or is it all specialized machines?
There's like the lab computer, if you wanted.
Yeah, I would just use the standard lab computer then, try and access like
I assume
we
like
have
any like
any-
general computer in like the Stewards HQ can be like their own like network, so you can use,
look for
multi-purpose.
like any logs recording the movement of a patient sort of thing. It would be
Yeah, you like start tapping in. Do you put any like specific like keywords in to narrow the search?
any movement of anyone basically that is not a prisoner or a member of anyone who's moving in the capacity of they are being moved, but they're not. Well, in fact, no, he wouldn't even narrow it down. He would just be looking for anyone moved off site within the last like say 12 or so hours.
Yeah, you put in that, and I don't know, roll me cop or something. Roll me something that involves you doing some investigation.
I'll roll Space Cop.
Yeah.
For that, I shall roll Space Cop. It is
Hey.
31.
Yeah. There's a bunch of information that comes up, but one of the files is locked. So that means somebody above your access level locked it.
Okay.
There. I better be sure. And I will look through any of the other stuff quickly to see if I can find any strong indication that any of the others might have been referring to her. Just in case, because
yeah.
just because I don't want to jump to conclusions. His mind did go
There's
there. But,
for the most part, everything's like filed fairly detailed. For the other transfers, there's maybe a couple that are like obscure enough that if somebody was being clever, like, and they didn't want say Shakos' name to highlight, like the equivalent of whatever the Space Jane Doe is, but also that is quite commonplace if you don't have an ID on somebody yet, so that's not that suspicious. But yeah, like for the most part, the fact that there's a specific lock file within the time frame. Yeah.
And none of the others have given me any indication that they're likely.
Yeah, that's
maybe
kind of
they
why I
could
had you roll
be,
the
but-
Space Cop one, where it's like that's the most likely candidate being what you could guess. Is this locked file?
It looks like they're locking me out of this.
Hmm. Don't like it. I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
Zig is talking in brain speak. Just for,
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
In case the lab's
would-
bugged.
yeah, sorry.
yeah,
To be
you
clear,
know, like
I probably
the-
would have
the-
been also.
yeah, like I think the more we kind of like the longer we spend here, the more Zig's like I would
Yeah, the more the
less and
paranoia.
less trusting the stewards. Like it's
Okay. Yeah.
Aside from Lyco, obviously.
Let's see. And I will have a look to see if the system has any indication of where Commander Babak might be stationed at present.
Yeah. Do you have a Google for that? Or a Spoogle? And yeah, you obviously see Commander Babak is what was the last phrasing I think I gave you? It was something akin to like, is on assignment and unavailable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's presumably still out.
It'll have like, please see, some next in line person here that doesn't have a name yet because
Yeah.
you know.
I would say that in Brave Speak, and then aloud I would say, well, maybe it wouldn't hurt to contact someone else in the hierarchy.
If you hack the computer, you might be able to find who locked the file.
Agency moment, folks. That is something that Lyco is probably willing to do, even though it is, his own HQ.
Is it your own HQ at this point? Are the stewards acting like stewards at this point?
Well, is
the
Babak
back acting like a steward at this point? At the point.
Did I just do it?
I would say
Do it.
so.
Do it.
Like
Do
I'd
it.
go for it.
Good.
Obviously,
Etiquette.
Ziggle keep an eye out for anyone coming.
As the Scottish like to
just
say,
something
he's keeping edgy.
Alright, keep me edgy. That's my go-to, by the way. See when people say I want to keep lookout, I'm like, okay, you can keep edgy.
Edgy! Edgy!
Yeah, so I guess I'm rolling computers.
And yeah, I'll like kind of keep an eye out, kind of down the.
Keep edgy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep edgy. Okay.
Keep edgy.
Do you want to roll me a perception then?
Sure.
Also, I hit
mean,
the
rolling
computers button.
dice.
It wasn't as good this time.
Surprisingly, that's actually a roll that doesn't happen often.
What? Like
Perception.
yeah, right.
Perception. Like it's like usually like probably the most used roll in most RPs as well. It's like he's a perception check. Perception check.
I optimistically perhaps I assume that Ryan will basically tell me if anything would like fail my passive perception, which a lot of shit will. Assuming that's a thing in this system, I assume it is in every system.
Yeah, like
Maybe it's
passives are good. I think passive scores are good because it means me as the GM can just like exposition dump info on you guys, which is nice, without going, can you roll high enough so I can tell you the next part of the story, please? Which is a lot of GM's first hurdles. Or pitfalls is maybe better than the hurdles. But yeah, so Zig, you are the corridor with that perception roll.
Yeah, figures.
Nobody's getting by you. Fucking 49. Like, eyes for
It's still
days.
It's like it's literally like the only skill that I have like put points that I've never used. I was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'll be perceptive because it's good, and then just like forgotten that it's even.
It's also
a
just
skill
because
that we
how
use.
often do I like to actually engage with the system? I don't as often as possible.
No,
So, yeah. That's an edgy lord. Yes, he is lord of keeping edgy. Yes. But yes, so that happens. Lyco, your rolls. I mean, if you like, I don't know, you get to the part where you type in the fucking command prompt and then you go to hit enter and you realize that if you do this, it'll like signal whoever locked the file. Like, I'll give you that before you hit enter.
Yeah, I mean we have experience in that, don't we? We've seen a couple of times.
So your name barely fits on the line as it is, Zig. Like,
The burning.
Yep.
Why are you burning?
Just the burning sun.
But it's because it ends like
Yeah.
Zig Commodore Chief Mystic Officer the burning.
You know what? I'm gonna close out of it,
Right. Okay.
and I Here's an idea. Again, I'm going for the player of agencies.
Okay. Yep.
I could be pretty persuasive, and I've got vampire voice.
Okay.
Should I try and harangue some poor underling into hacking for me? It is arguably unethical.
So they try and get like the IT department or some like random like intern or something, a rookie cop.
I mean, yeah, maybe someone with a bit of IT.
Yeah. You just
Keep
tell
a
me.
special assignment.
But that's too shady.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna call up whoever the most in charge person present is,
Okay, let me go work out who that is. 2 seconds.
and I'm gonna use the classic strategy. I'm
If
gonna be
Zig
the
dies,
loose
I'm being
cannon.
this NPC.
What was that? Sorry, Callum.
If Zig dies, I want to be this NPC coming
Okay.
up.
Okay.
Quickly do something to get yourself
Whatever
killed.
they are, who you know.
Right, so Alex, you get the honor of telling me the race of this person. I will veto most options though.
They are. I'm trying to remember what all the races are now.
That's fair.
Finder races.
One of the balls. Whatever they're called again.
There's so many that are like covered.
He's the brain people. I can't remember the name of him. It's very brainy name. But there's brain people.
Do you mean the ones that come from Britheda?
Maybe. I don't know.
They're like
the brain.
brain-
The brain's in
Oh,
jars.
no,
It's like
like-
a brain in a jar. Like,
I
I
was
used-
thinking about the Roly boys.
What do you think about the contemplative or whatever?
I contemplated. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the one.
The veterani.
So I was kind of hoping you were going to go for like somebody more generic from the the first lot of races, the player handbook equivalent.
Yeah, no, that would make sense.
It would. I just think Android, no, because we've had loads of androids in the stewards already. Well, no, it's not a Kasathan. So we've got like human, Lashunta, Shurin, probably
Shurin
not
android.
Risk, and Isoki. Could be an Isoki.
Let's go for Shurin Android.
Okay, a Shurin android.
Because all the Android we normally see are human based.
Okay, so you want another android, which I vetoed. But you want a Shurin
You
one.
didn't veto them.
I did. I just said vetoed them just now.
So we probably don't want them.
No,
Now I'm hearing a veto.
yeah, I'm now doing it. I'm doing it in the moment.
In which case, we'll have two Shurin.
Okay, 2 Shurin. Right, yeah. Are they sharing the job? Apparently, yeah.
Yes.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
So, Zora, do you want to pick a race for this guy?
I mean, I already gave my bullshit race. This is maybe arguably better.
No, it can be a Shurin if you want it to be a Shurin. I don't mind.
Yeah, go for a Sharon. There's not enough
Yeah.
Sharon. There's only
Yeah.
there's only
Like
Nazmekek, like really. Yeah.
There was
Go for a Shurin.
there
There should be an
was
entire squad of Shurin running the IT department.
there was a Shurin on Akaton as well, not Nazmekek, but see the one that ran like the chapel. There was like a Shurin in there as well. It was like a couple, like I think it was a Lashunta and a Shurin. That you had woke up during the night when you were looking for. I want to say looking for Zig. Yeah, when Zig went missing with the whole Edgar Thanida situation. Yeah.
Yes, that was a
The,
that
the
was a good
noodles. The no noodles. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Sharon names. Okay. These are pronunciation joys. Okay, I quite like that. That's alright. Don't mind that one. Okay, let me just pop some of these in. So that's alright.
Oh my god, I'm like a contemplative images. They're stupid.
Yeah, they're
Okay, I need to look at these guys because I don't think I know what you're referring to.
Oh, they're so dumb.
Starfinder Contemplative.
yeah. Let's see.
The wee men with brain heads.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else we got? Quite like that one as well.
And those are very weird. They're like an almost insectoid body in some ways, although it's humanoid in shape.
Oh, I think that one's.
Oh, look at this one. Oh my
First one
god.
that pops
Copy
up is-
image. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Where are you sharing this? I don't see.
He's just
What?
Where?
just dump it into Sci-Fi General.
That's what I was going to do. This is going to do bad. On RP General,
Yeah.
a text channel. Look at it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But like, if you see them without clothes or with relatively low clothes, they look like their bodies look like exoskeletons.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I can see.
Yeah, they've got very skeletal bodies. It's like they got rid of the actual gooey bits of a body and just left the brain. It's weird.
Do you just want this guy to be a chief or a commissioner?
Commissioner.
Yeah.
Oh
Sure.
The commissioner breathing
Commissioner.
down my ass.
Everyone likes a commissioner.
Right.
Oh
so
my god. Here's the actual detective one.
it's I'll wait for this one. Let's see.
Detective contemplative.
It's basically
one.
the
It's Columbo brain.
Yeah.
One more thing.
one more thought.
How could
Yes.
you have been playing the PlayStation 3 when the PlayStation 3 doesn't have any games?
Oh fucking hell. Starfinder,
Okay, I'm-
everybody.
I'm getting rid of contemplatives. I'm sorry. I got too excited by them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. They're good. I think they're also playable.
Also, the narrator for the princess.
Pretty sure they are. Yeah.
Anyway.
It's topical to do. Anyway,
Yes.
Anyway.
Fucking hell. So, you look up, obviously, who's next in line. It was like that name that obviously had been on the previous, when you looked up for Babak, and it was like, please all inquiries go to, and it was Commissioner Nell Kolchekt. Or Kolchekt, sorry, Kolchekt.
Oh wow, that's kind of funny because that reminds me of Kolchak the Night
It's
Stalker, who
good.
wasn't a police officer, but they were a detective.
Well, let's assume that's why I chose it from the list I pasted in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nell Kolchak.
Yeah,
Kolchak?
Kolchekt.
I would immediately.
And you recognise it as a Sharon name as well, and like you probably know this guy, right? You've probably like dealt with him.
Yeah,
before.
I don't imagine there's someone I know well.
In fact, there's
Well,
a
I
question. Right, so technically, Alex picked that. Nico, gender, male, female, non-binary. What are we going for?
Non-binary.
Okay, perfect. Okay, B for Nell Kolchekt. Perfect. Right. So you've got your answer there, Lyko. Commissioner Kolchekt.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check if they are in.
Yeah. They I don't know what the equivalent would be of office hours for this, but sure, yeah, they're in the building, yeah.
Checked. Right, yeah. Screw it. And I just phone call checked.
Yeah. And then if I could do like a proper New Yorker accent, I would. But I can't. So you just have to use your imagination for the first time in this game. So
Sorry, I don't know.
yeah.
what? But I don't have an imagination.
What accent is that? Please tell me. Was
What's my
that
proof accent?
right? Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like Dracula.
But I don't have an imagination.
I don't drink wine.
I don't drink the wine.
But actually, Bela Lugosi could pronounce his W's quite well,
Quite.
despite the stereotype.
It's funny that you say quite well and not quite well.
But he did. He pronounces W's okay. Like, he doesn't Germanify.
But you said that like
Germanifies-
Bela Lugosi was not the person you were.
He doesn't Germanifies them.
Anyway, back in the scene. Fucking hell, we're getting there. We're getting there. So back in the scene. Yeah, like you call up Kolchekt, and they reply, and they're like, "Go for Kolchekt."
Oh shit! This is Quint here. I came looking for Helene. I can't find Helene. I can't find out where she is. I can't find her patient. I can't find the file in her patient. What the hell's going on here? This is my case.
You hear like exhaling, and probably from like a shirren. It's like a lot of like almost like clacking noises within it. And you're probably used to this from like any time you've asked As McKechnie he's about to break news
Yeah.
to you. So you hear that kind of exhale with the clicking. You know, like when you realize you've hoovered something up in your vacuum cleaner and it makes that rattling noise, and you go, "Oh, that's not good."
Okay, that sounds terrific. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's his exhale, or their exhale, and they say, "My office," and then they just cut the channel.
I'm not sure if you can sit in on this, Zig, but I'm going to Kolchekt's office. He looks at the computer again to find out where it is because he can't remember.
Yeah, and it's like, some like random level where like they've just been put because it was a space that was available.
Yeah, maybe he's even moved, right? Like no, they've even moved. Sorry. Now I'm doing it.
I know, it's horrible. I think it's because like Kolchekt feels like a weirdly male name.
It does have masculine energy.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
This is new. Yeah, that's my excuse. I don't remember because they weren't there before. Actually, I think this was like I think this might have been a stationary unit. Anyway, then I'll start walking.
Yep. Is like you heading with him?
I'll go with them. I might not go into the office. Just out of politeness, because I'm,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, if anything interesting's happening, that Lyko can think to me.
There is a brain connection, indeed.
And yeah, he might even just take the opportunity to kind of not wander around, but just have a wee nosy about in the immediate area.
Is there a coffee machine between me and their office?
Like most definitely. So you're in like the sub levels. You'd need to go past like the public levels up to like the second floor equivalently.
Fantastic. I'm gonna get a couple of coffees and give Zigwan as an apology for putting him out and leaving him out of the meeting. What do you want, kid? I'm just going for black.
What would Zig drink? Something milky and sweet.
Okay. How much do 2 coffees cost?
I don't know. It's a vending machine, right? So probably 5 credits each, right? Probably.
Okay, I'm gonna mark myself down 10 full
Aw.
credits.
Not 15.
I
not
pass.
Not taking the boss coffee.
I'm gonna pass the nice sweet thing to Zig, and then have
I don't know,
the
like a
hot
like
better
a
thing myself.
caramel latte or something
Yeah.
of equivalence.
I thought I
Pumpkin
honestly I was
spice if it's with
expecting
season.
pumpkin spice. I was thinking like
Wow.
basic. Listen, I like pumpkin spice.
You calling Zig
Some
a
of my
basic
best
bitch?
friends are basic white girls. You know.
Oh dear. So anyway, I think Zig's fur is white, right?
Yeah.
I also think that's more commentary on diversity in Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. To be fair.
Yeah. So meanwhile, you take your your coffee up, get to the office, and it is like you can tell like it has like one of those makeshift signs that's just been like stuck to the door, to say Commissioner Kolchekt. So you can definitely tell it's like definitely a temporary office. Do you head in or do you knock or do you wait or what? Like just head in?
No, I will. No, you know what? I'm just barging in.
Yeah.
I'm committing to the loose cannon bit.
Yep. And you go in and like the door opens like just past like the halfway point, and it like smacks off, and you hear files fall.
The hell?
And you just
And
like
I'll
you see the Shuren
breeze
behind the
through it.
desk just look up and just shake their head, blink like their compound eyes, and then just wave you in.
Yeah. So I'll like turn to Zig. Zig. I mean, you can go and wander if you like. I'm sure if they find you anywhere you shouldn't be, you can just.
You sing this out loud, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then like
Um,
Kolchak just says, "Bring in your kid."
Yeah. Well, he's not technically. Come in with me.
All right. And he
They're
just goes
they're
in.
they're just small. He's actually. You are an adult, aren't you?
Zig just
Things
nods.
you don't ask 4 years into a friendship.
Yeah. I thought so.
Wait. How old are you again?
Yeah. He's young, but he's not young for them. Anyway. Nice office they've got you in here.
You hear like the kind of rasping clacks of like a laughter, in Shuren. Again, you're probably well used to it yourself. I think Lyco speaks Shuren, right?
I feel like maybe I do.
I think that was maybe one of the first things you learned,
Yeah.
just Mazmakek. Like,
I
I
I
might be
think
putting
I
words in
do,
your
and
mouth,
yet it's
but
not on my
alright.
list. But I
Yeah.
have tons of free languages, so I'm assuming it should be on my list.
Yeah, remember we had like a. We had
I
a
think at this
handout.
point, if you've got like
I think early
more
on
than-
he interacted with me through
It was-
psychic connection.
Yeah, it was
but
always
I think I
telepathy.
learned
Or,
it.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, let's assume I did because
Party
as I say, I have
languages.
languages unused.
What are these? Because these are terrible. Right, so you've definitely put into the old party languages tracker common, which was your base, plus signed culture, whatever that means.
It's a it's a
oh,
thing
it's like
because of
signed.
how it gets. Yeah.
And then yeah, you've got Drow, Eoxian, and Vesk on the tracker at least. But this tracker probably
Okay,
hasn't been updated
I
in like 3
think it
years.
should have been updated to have. But let's even if we hadn't previously discussed that.
Well, it
I
still
think
says
at this
next
point,
5 on this tracker, so it's been a while since it's been
Yeah.
updated. Yeah.
I'm going to add Shuren
There we go, guys.
onto my character sheet, and we can add it to that later.
I think at this point, now, if you've got like more than 10 intelligence, you can probably speak the universe. Like,
Yeah,
like-
it's just a case of like, would
Yeah.
you have learned it? And I think I would have learned a bit of this one.
I haven't updated the tracker, but I definitely speak every
Yeah.
basic language in
Yeah.
the game.
I recall this. But yeah, so yeah, like Kolchak brings you both in, and then kind of just says, "I have my crammed in here with all the physical filing," and just blinks at you.
I like physical files. Can't delete them. I mean, I can burn them. This is Zig.
Hello, Zig.
Zig, this is Commissioner Kolchak. Not Kolchak.
Ko-
Not Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Kolchak. Yeah.
Kolchak.
Yeah.
Kolchak.
2 seconds, sorry.
I just quite enjoy
Oh,
saying
no.
Kolchak. It's a good
Let's just keep saying
Yeah.
it until he's back.
Kolchak.
Kolchak.
yeah, Kolchak.
Kolchak.
Nico, do you want to give us a Kolchak?
a coal checked?
There you go, perfect.
Cool check.
Okay.
Right, I'm back.
Cool
Sorry.
check.
I was so confused. I was like, what's a coal checked?
It's a Shuren Commissioner.
Very important character
Yeah.
in this scene.
Yeah,
Um,
and they're sat there. They've got like a shirt on and a tie, like not even done fully up, around their neck.
Which probably looks fucking hilarious. in
Yeah.
Shuren.
And like they're clearly it's like something they have chosen to do to like air quote acclimate with the community, but yeah, they just kind of shake their head as if yeah. Anyway, they said like hello, Zig.
Hi. How do you do?
I'm doing well. Thank you. And you both? And like they blink their compound eyes again.
It's frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah, this case. What case is it?
Kivalari.
Oh, you got that, did you?
Nod my head.
Who's this?
It's
He points back at Zig.
Zig takes a big sip from his coffee cup.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, I think Zig's already finished the coffee ages ago, and he's just like pretending to drink out of
Yeah.
it for like something to do.
Residual like foam and grain at the bottom of it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm leaving that to Lyko.
Yeah.
Zig's an associate of mine. We've worked together quite extensively.
Like there's that laughter again, almost like a dismissive tone to it, and then Kolchak just like shakes their head and is like, "Are we that short-staffed?"
He's not on our books officially, although he has.
And
worked
you
on
are,
his other investigations. I am.
huh? That one must have got past me. Good to have you back, I guess.
He smiles broadly.
Yeah.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
I'd say have a seat, but I don't know where they are. So
Zig just sits down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably tell, like, there is probably some, seat-shaped, piles of, like, actual physical files in this room.
I'm alright with standing.
So
This whole situation, well, it's quite disturbing for me. I'm sure you can imagine.
I imagine I can't imagine.
How aware are you of the details of the case?
I am aware that you were on the case as of the conversation we just had, and that apparently I probably should have known that.
Are you aware of the vessel, the Kivalari, and its purpose?
And they put a hand up and they go, "It is known that the Kivalari was involved in an incident still under investigation. The details of that are quite classified, and like for as best as you can tell a glance at Zig and back to you, right? I don't know how they do that with their compound eyes, but you know.
This classification, I appreciate, normally preclude the inclusion of an outsider in this conversation, which is why I was quite happy to leave him outside, and Sig, I'm sure, doesn't mind leaving. But I would
I
note
can go.
that. Well, hold on. While we
Keep
were
some
investigating the
respectful.
Kefalari, I had not, when I was initially brought in for the initial investigation of the vessel itself, this is not the case that unfolded from it. I was actually working as an outside source for reasons of plausible deniability given the nature of its mission. I took a team that I had been working with for a few years at that point. Zig is a member of that team. So Zig has witnessed firsthand a great deal of the classified information.
Do you realize that doesn't make it okay?
Perhaps not.
They blink and they put like a hand up kind of dismissively and they go, "Honestly, Quint, I don't care.
Fantastic.
What do you need from me right now?"
Look, I called on you just because you're the highest ranking name I could see that I could actually readily access right now.
Oh goody.
Helene is somewhere. Can't find out where, can't find out why. Her patient. My witness is gone, presumably with her, I hope. But I can't find that out either.
Just nods. Points at you and says, "They left yesterday."
That tracks.
Yes. I imagine you'd like to know who they left with.
You'd be correct. I'm sensing a but.
There's like, as best you can tell, a smile. And they say, there's no, back and forth here, Quint. It's just I'm not meant to know. It is classified above my clearance. You can tell the irritation in that tone as well.
I see.
So I definitely can't tell you that the doctor and a significant amount of storage was moved by a certain Article 1. If I were to tell you that, I would say that all 6 bodies were moved by this Article 1 into an unregistered shuttle.
Well, obviously, any such information would also apparently be above my clearance level, which is very strange given the direct relevance to that case which Babak himself put me on.
And that means I definitely couldn't say that that's something worth looking into.
Trying to think of a phrase
Zig glazed over like I would have said like 2 I would have said ago.
Yeah. And hypothetically, if such a thing were to be said, I would have to agree with it.
Like,
Listen,
Kolchak just nods, vaguely.
I'll get out of your way here, and officially, of course, you have no idea what I was talking about with any of this.
It's all skittermander to me, Quint.
Nods. Fully aware of what he means by that. Yeah, they should. Okay. Good luck with just points generally around.
They just feel like do that wave off of like, yeah, okay, sure.
Right. Okay, we'll get out your road.
Like, as you're leaving, you just like have like a, you're like about to close the door and you say, "Nice to have you back with us."
Thanks. Give them a nod, like a fairly sincere sort of nod of appreciation.
Yeah, and then like Zig, they give you a wave as well,
Zig just gives a polite wave back.
Yep. And he's head out the office to take it.
I do indeed.
Yes. Well, there we go. There was our wonderful new NPC for the night.
I'm mentally saying to Zig as soon as like we're getting up and leaving, like, son of a bitch, fucking God, not God, God's damn it.
You could just say like "damn Desna" or something like that, right?
I Desna be damned.
Especially since Desna is like the travel god, so that's even more like there they move.
Yeah, as I get out, I'll be more vocal. Like, this is this isn't quite working out how we hoped, huh?
It never does it?
Not really.
What
So,
next?
well, funny story. Someone told me on my way here that if I needed any help with this, they'd be willing to give me a hand. Funny thing. It was an android lady. She was an android, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, with an Illic one, of fucking course she was. Or an emu song. It was an android lady. Article 1. I just remembered that she was my transport. very high ranking. But then, of course, she's privy to a lot of chatter, so she'd have to be. I think I'm
Oh.
going to take a look, see if I can find where she is. And then I do that with a wall panel or
Great
computer.
success.
Hopefully with great success.
And then I just do the thing. Yeah.
Can I yeah, I did it. There we go.
Yep. You know, I might just maybe one day I'll just invent like a super simple RP system where you get 3 points if I did the thing. There's no more to the system. That's it. We just talk for 4 hours, and during that 4 hours you can use your 3 points of I just did the thing. That's it.
Okay.
That's the game.
He did
I like
the
it.
thing.
It's alright, there we go, there's a whole RP system built for someday. Anyway, yeah, you bring up a panel. Do you want to give me a how do you want to do this? Because if you're not like trying to, if you want to bring up like the where is the current office or Article 1, like that's
Yeah,
there's
literally
no role.
just like
Yeah. There is on assignment off world is the public message.
of course she is. I'll
Does it say when you type it?
I will I think I have a phone number for him, right?
I think they did give you like
Or sorry.
contact details. Yeah, like
Well, just because the system says, I mean, I can't give it a shot. I'll send a little message saying something to the effect of, "Are you available soon?"
are you sending any like more details? Like, are you available soon for this on this
You know what I
place?
will say specifically on Versus ATM.
It's actually an Android racial slur. It's,
Wow.
it's art.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, it could be.
And your message. Okay, so you want to say you're on Versus at the moment, and basically,
I don't want to be too specific in case it sets off any alarm bells.
just like
She
available
did
for a chat
say-
or something, right? That's vague enough,
Yeah.
right?
Because she did say, like, you're welcome to contact me if you need anything for blah blah blah. So
Yeah, she was super friendly. Yeah.
I would expect that she wouldn't expect anything to like. I must see you because of X Y Z. Here I have listed my reasons. Now, I think
I've got it for you. Right? Just type "you up?" ?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Now you can send off your on Versus at the moment. You free for a chat, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I would start just like, are you available ATM on Versus? Or are you available are you available in the near future? No, soon, just soon. Are you available soon on Versus ATM?
I believe you've typed this message out like 15
Yeah.
times and deleted it 15 times. I'm like, okay, right.
Are you available for quick chat? Something like that.
Yeah, and you send it off, and it gives you the pending symbol, which lets you know that it's working its way through the solar network.
Yeah, she might be quite a distance away for
Yeah.
all I know, so fair enough.
Yep. But no sent or should I say received receipt yet
Mhm.
on your message. So it's definitely seems to be on its way. While you're waiting for that to kind of indicate anything else you want to get up to in the meantime?
It's a good question. I'm not sure what I would do.
I think Zig would buy a couple of coffees to pay back the debt. And to get the taste of like just sucking out like just breathing in like coffee stained cup.
yeah, like
the past
the stuff
however
that
long
would have
that
got filtered off
engagement
that were a
was.
slightly higher quality. I
What was
think
it,
what I would
10?
do though is suggest that we. So you know what? I might even do it in character. How about that?
That's crazy.
Thank you, kid. How about we head out for a bit? I don't know when I'm gonna. You're back. anything you
Yeah.
want to do
Okay.
here while we're here?
I'm trying to remember what's on Versus.
Carhole, the
Carhole.
11th hour.
Oh yeah, so. Wow, is it really?
What percentage of it is?
Do you want the answer you'd know or the answer that's the correct answer?
The answer I would know.
The answer you would know is you have no idea, whatever Zig left it in,
Okay.
which was probably not very much. Since you did cannibalize a lot of it to build a fire.
That's true. I think Zig would say that out loud. Like, I wonder what happened to Carhole.
We could swing by, just take a look around the city. Haven't really had much of a chance to do that a while, so can't hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, just head back to the city.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you head away from the steward's HQ, head into the city. I guess like just for the sake of like, you know, set pieces we know, you pass by the square that has the diner in it, you know, obviously reconstructed. You'd need to like quite a bit of a walk, but you know, he's probably get time to kill. But if he's obviously don't get transport, remember he's wanted somewhere just out of like
Yeah.
the city enough for Carhole, that it was less surveilled. So yeah, if he's
Yeah,
wanted
I was
that.
deliberately choosing a sort of less convenient location for that purpose, frankly.
So if you want to get there like reasonably well, rather than you know potentially a day later, you might want to have a transport thing arranged. You can like hop a cab or something equivalent to get there, or you could just walk. You could walk there. It's just, as I said, inconvenient.
Yeah, well, you know what? We should walk for a bit, maybe hop a little while in a cab sort of thing. You know, maybe take half the journey off.
Yeah. The idea is like we're kind of killing time enough so that either this person gets back to you or enough time has passed that we're like, right, okay, no, we've got other things to do. Let's go.
And also maybe not wanting to go too far that we're not easily able to get back. Should they say yes at HQ now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think after like maybe an hour or so, having sent the message, you've maybe like started your walk towards that part before you've decided to get into like a cab or something. It comes up the sent like received type, you know, message, so you know that at least the message got to where it's supposed to be going. Okay.
Oh, hey. Gone. Jeez, you got the message.
And that's probably about standard to get like you know anywhere in the solar system right through the network, unless there's a network issue. Well, for the most part, it would be about an hour, give or take. Also depends on the size of the file, as we know. But yeah, so you send that off, you get that. Obviously, there's no like immediate reply or anything. And yeah, you start heading out there. So maybe like another couple hours pass. And like you just jump in the cab or whatever and head out towards Carhole. So yeah, you get there. He's obviously past like the slightly rougher neighbourhood area. I say it loosely. Versus is pretty upmarket. But the further out you go, obviously this is where the people that live in like the kind of frozen north or the fiery south. And I think it was to the frozen-y side. I think you put Carhole. You didn't put it in the solar side. I think you put it in the frosty side. So on the outskirts of the city.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember at least. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. But yeah, you just get there. The building looks like it's been abandoned for a bit.
Guess this isn't exactly prime real estate, but I didn't think it'd still be empty. Wanna take a look around?
Yeah, let's do it. Then I guess we break into
Yeah, fuck it.
to the establishment formerly known as Carhole.
Yeah. And then yeah, it's Like it probably says like Carl now with all the neon letters that aren't smashed. So yeah,
Hi,
Carl.
Maybe someone did buy it and they were just really lazy about changing the sign. It's Carl's. You see, my name's Carl, or it can be for the time being. It's it's
How do you just want to
legal
break in?
document. Subtly,
Okay.
using all of my skill
Okay.
as would it be stealth?
Zig's gonna climb in a window.
I'm gonna notice that Zig's climbing in a window and just go, okay, yeah, guess we can do that.
You could try and like
Do it
pick the lock
stealthily
if you
if you
wanted
want.
as well. Like you can pick the lock if you want.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna notice him doing that and just give
Mm.
up.
Okay. Do you want to give me
I
a
like that Michael
athletic-
starts to pick the lock.
athletics or acrobatics, Sig? I don't know what one exists in this system, so I need one of those.
Both.
Yeah.
I'll give
Both
you
actually exist,
acrobatics
yeah.
because it's the only one that doesn't have a -1 to it.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Right. So I think what you notice is him falling from trying to get in the window.
Are you okay?
It's fine.
Zig, take a d6 of like slashing damage from like the broken glass
Sure.
of the window, and that's why you fell.
I'll take
It's
that.
all right, yeah.
I mean, you would expect it to be a pretty minor injury if you're just falling a few feet.
Well, this is the glass that he's gripped onto, and that's why he's fell.
Ah, right. Now I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yep. So, like, what do you do?
I will
Like, obviously, I assume help him up, probably.
give him a second to go past. And do you want me to roll?
Yeah, if you want to climb in, yes. Acrobatics
yep,
or
I will,
athletics, either
I will
or.
also use acrobatics because I'm minutely better at it.
Yeah. And significantly better than Zig at it as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It also makes a lot more sense than heaving myself over if I can just like, because I'm a little taller. I can probably just like hop over it. Hop on.
Now remember, this
and
is
then
like
move
a.
down.
So I never really described it too well, but it is a fairly raised up window. So we had
I
like
can
6
climb up
stamp
that pretty
That's
easy.
fine.
Exactly.
Evidently.
Zig is going to subtly, not subtly at all, starlight form fly in.
Okay. Yep.
He tried it the peasant way and it didn't work. So
Yeah.
I could have given you a hand.
I like that you go in and obviously you glow and you light up that entire, like, know how the vehicle be? Obviously it was the way into Carhole. So you light that up. And then like some semblance of possibly small vermin like life scutter away. But it scutters too fast for you to notice what it was. They're just not okay
Okay.
with the light. But it's the equivalent of having rats and stuff here, but it's whatever Versus has as like, that category.
Grats.
Sure. Contemplatives. Tiny contemplatives everywhere.
my children.
I think the first thing to do here is to perceiveth.
Yeah. I assume Zig's still glowing as well.
Yeah, Zig will still
I mean,
glow.
not that either of
I
us
will
need
glow
that, right?
for a minute.
It just makes it easier though, right? Because like seeing with actual light rather than
Yeah, you
seeing
get
with yeah.
color.
So yeah,
Set tie on. It's a 40.
you're looking for anything in particular? Like
Honestly, just what the hell conditions in? Is it, has someone been squatting here? Have there been
it looks
bum
like there has
fights?
definitely been potentially people that have like stayed in here. That window clearly has been smashed from the outside in. The glass beneath like where you have landed inside. So yeah, it definitely looks like people have like broken here and just like used it for some kind of shelter. Because it is on the colder side of Versus. Like it's not super cold,
Yeah.
but it's not as like climate controlled as the
It's not
central
balmy,
side.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's obviously the shelter was clearly used. Like I guess even from like the perception, I don't mind giving you this for like a reasonable roll. Like looks like it was abandoned like for like maybe a year. Like it feels like that.
Yeah, I would say something to that effect. Like, it's like whoever was living here has been gone a while. Might have just had needed somewhere to stay when they were passing through or something.
I guess like I would see if there's just kind of anything remotely useful lying around, or a flare like.
You wanna roll a D100 for me?
Okay.
No, you don't see any flares in the room, sadly.
Okay.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Yeah. If you remember the layout of this place, like all the offices were to to the back.
Do you? Do you? Because I wanted them slightly hidden. Do you still have the map?
I do.
Yes.
Because why would
Add some letter effects. Do you have letter effects?
I'm actually trying to remember what the fuck that map would even look like now.
Spray paint and feces effects.
Where do you live? Is this it? Yep, here we go. Let me just... God, what a beautiful map. This must have been when we started putting effort into maps. Let me move you over to this one. I'll fix the lighting freeze in a second. Because when you set dynamic lighting, apparently it just tells everything to have dynamic lighting. Ta-da!
Oh, hey! Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yep,
So,
yep.
Oh, I
Assume-
forgot all about this.
Assume you
Yeah.
came in, see where the like the desks are at the side, like the old kind of like equipment terminals. Yeah, you probably like jumped in and landed on top of them, and then like jumped down, like smash glass all over them and whatnot. The workstations that are there. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
first things first. Gonna go through. Well, I didn't so much use the main workstation. I think I was like more in there, was I?
You're
Because this
top.
was the bit that the door would open to.
So
right?
that's the main door in, like the big garage door, is at the bottom left, right, in front of the car thing that's there, the hover truck, as it were. You have broke in through the side window, the raised up kind of side window that you have got in. There was like the common area, that red square is like a table or something, I believe, for like your
Yeah.
It was our like basically canteen, essentially. You had your rooms that you had up there and your storage equipment, and then that top room was yours, and it had the slide away
Okay.
wall with your secret office.
Okay. Yeah. So I was forgetting. Okay, I'm gonna go to my secret office because I know I left stuff behind.
What way are you going through? Are you going through the kitchen? Or are you going through the main office?
I think it'll be easier to get through these doors than this, which is probably fucking rusted over by this point.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, you head through. You head up to that bedroom. You want to give me a wee athletics check, buddy?
Athletics, sure. Yeah.
Yep. You pry open the door easy, and then again just disuse obviously. Clamber over, and then the panel knocks away. You probably get covered in a sheet of dust when you hit the wall. Slides away, and yeah, your office is there.
Doesn't look, very much like it's been empty since.
Yeah.
That's the impression I get.
Yep. The guy you sold this place to, which I cannot for the fucking life of me remember if we even said any details about who you sold this place to, because you did sell Carhole.
Yes.
And originally one of your main clients was some random dwarf dude that I cannot remember the name of either.
Yes. Yeah, that rings a bell.
And I feel like it was him you sold it to.
Makes sense.
And I don't mind if we just say it was him. I just don't remember what his name was.
At least for the sake of this session, it was him.
Yes. The new now is that it was him.
The new now is the old then.
So, this note from session 34 just says Zigger T Rock. Thanks Ryan from the past.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Good game.
it was Digger T-Rock was awesome. Right, what's happening? What's the plan?
Gonna rifle through my old shit, see if there's anything of interest. I know there probably wouldn't be anything relevant today, but I just like the idea that he would do that while he was there.
Yeah, like you wouldn't have left anything super important here, sadly.
No.
But at the same time, you didn't exactly raid the place. You've got like your old conspiracy board that would have been like reset probably. Because if you remember, you left here because S-Kate turned up.
Yeah.
And was like, "Let's go." I'm pretty sure it was you and Zig in the office discussing that you weren't exactly good people.
Was that when that conversation happened?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, probably actually. Yeah.
I distinctly remember it, but
I don't know why that's still floating around my brain, but it lives rent free in there apparently. So, yep, here we
nice.
are. Yeah.
Yes, I'm just going to continue looking through it anyway, just in case there's anything that's at least of interest. And I imagine there's probably nothing you wouldn't remember that you sort of left, unless it was stuff that has absolutely no value and therefore has been completely forgotten about within 5 minutes.
Yeah, and if there was like a computer terminal or whatever, like the thing's long since dead, power cell wise. So you'd need to like find a power cell and plug it in.
I'll power it.
No, he's not going to do that. Instead, he's just going to take the computer and chuck it across the room.
Okay. Just smash it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And if Zig's
could you just have
nearby,
a
I'm
breaking
just going to
stuff
say like,
montage?
yeah, less
I mean,
likely that someone will be able to load it.
feel free to put your tokens on if you really want. I have no issue with that.
Yeah,
you
sure.
do have
I'll,
tokens. Let's be crazy and use them.
Hey.
Look at that.
I forgot my token still has mode icon.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of make sure the computer's a bit more bashed up, so it's like just dissuade people from actually trying to like use it, just in case there's anything there that might be remotely important.
Mm-hmm.
And
Could we like disconnect whatever the storage is and just incinerate it?
The interesting thing as well is like session 34 is where my physical pile of notes stops, or that's as early as they go back. Because I don't know where the other notebook is that I wrote in initially. I will find it somewhere because I wouldn't have chucked that out. But that's the one that starts with the diner scene. You know, with Alice and Emma O. So literally, session 33 is probably where that guy's name lives. Which means I literally don't have it physically to hand. So typical. Yep. But anyway, that's fine. He doesn't need a name. Fuck that guy.
yeah, look around and just anything that I spot and think someone might be able to get something from this. Just like shred a document here, kick a hard drive there, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Zig, you
I know
hear
I
obviously this
expected to
commotion.
find, but and he'd probably just sort of like make his way back through. But it's yeah. See anything interesting?
No. It's very
What was
sparse.
that guy we sold to? The captain sold it to. I'm going to bring our uncertainty into the continuity. You see, it's the the dwarf guy.
I maybe I didn't really admittedly focus too much on who we sold to. Not that they got much use out of it, it seems.
Hmm.
I wonder what happened to them.
It's a little weird, isn't it? You would think. I mean, it's not exactly like we said prime turf, but it's a decent building. It's already pretty well outfitted. Wouldn't take much to get it back up to use. I mean, unless he went bust or something.
Is this where we go on our incredible side quest and try and find the true fate of the owner of Carhole?
I mean, maybe.
I think maybe do like a quick Google. for his company's name or whatever it was.
Yeah, that guy. Sure, yeah. You sign up to the Versus Net, you Google away, and it comes up that he's been MIA.
Interesting.
Some like I don't know, like gang related turf war bullshit that seemed to have been like, unresolved, and then magically
Guys.
resolved.
Either dead in hiding or he's just fled the planet. Well, now
I see.
I think we pretty much exhausted the.
I'd like to do kind of like one last sweep of the place, like checking for like maybe like an addition, like an added tunnel or something.
Because the only place you haven't checked is like the office. You've literally, this isn't a big place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of just wander along with them, sort of like
Yeah.
half-heartedly checking, but mostly just sort of pondering the Shako situation.
Yeah. So can I have you like having checked? Oh, that's not the button I wanted. Where is it? It looks like that.
I think is while he's sort of doing that, might be a good time for him to ponder, using his ponder power.
Wonderful.
It's because they changed it to look more like a fucking ruler. That's why I kept looking for the circle with the comb stuck in it, and it's not a circle with a comb stuck in it.
It's a
just
ruler now, yeah.
No, it's just a comb now. Okay. So you've searched. Basically, here there was nothing. Remember, you looked for flares. Nothing. This was obviously an abandoned kitchen. I guess you work your way through the bedrooms, and they look as abandoned as ever. It definitely looks like maybe people have like reused them, repurposed them since you guys had been there.
Yeah.
Like even the same with the one that Lyco had been in, but obviously isn't. Like only Lyco obviously had disturbed his office. That seemed to have went unnoticed. I guess you head into the office as well to
Yeah.
route around that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where is it?
What are you looking for, sorry?
Not Glimpse of Truth, the other one.
Oh, the cast solve crime one, or?
Yeah. Just because I was thinking, like, while he was sort of pondering this, he would probably using his his Glimpse of Truth.
So yes.
Oh no, that's my specialization exploit. Sorry, it's Detective's Insight. Is it not in my sheet?
So
it was in my sheet, wasn't it?
So Zig, you open the door to the office, and like you get a whiff of death.
Oh, I guess actually Zig would probably have stopped there.
Yeah. So I won't be using my solve crime ability right this second. I will suddenly be brought back into the moment and think, okay, what the hell, and follow more closely behind Zig.
I guess the first thing Zig would do is just kind of quickly scan this presumably not so fresh dead person.
For those at home, there'll be zoom freeze all. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, looks like it might be our dwarven friend.
Yeah. And I guess just check, see if there's any like very obvious cause of death.
Yeah, do you want to roll medicine?
Sure.
Yep. A couple of things. This person looks like they've been dead for like, at least 6 months plus, and their throat was quite clearly cut.
Well, I guess the sort of gang issues resolved themselves.
I'm gonna space cop it.
Okay.
See what I can figure out from the body and the scene.
Okay. Ask me questions if you want them.
Yeah, so anything lying around the body, anything associated with it that looks like it's out of place?
The only disturbed elements of this place that clearly weren't just everyday use from someone operating out of an office is your footprint in the dust layer. It doesn't
Nothing
look
at all looking out of place.
doesn't look like there's anything else that indicates that there was somebody else in the room.
Okay. Anything to indicate what he was doing while he was getting, or prior to, I should say. He probably wasn't doing much, but struggling.
Nah, that computer is trashed.
Does it look deliberately trashed?
Yeah.
Huh.
Remember, any of you can ask questions as well when Lyco's in this mode, because I don't want you to feel like you just have to sit out quiet, because I understand the others have been very quiet this session.
The body then, throat cut probably about half a year ago. What? Any indication of like how was he like ambushed from behind and just like
Yeah,
slice, or?
it seems reasonable to say. Like, because of the 6 months, like, it's hard to really put a picture together, but it definitely seems like they were caught unawares, just with the positioning of the body and stuff, and then the struggle that would have ensued. It definitely seems like the assailant would have been from behind them.
And therefore wouldn't have come in this way, presumably.
Yeah, because obviously that terminal faces that door.
I'm going to say that aloud. he would have had to come in this way, pointing at that.
Yep, and there's no other like way in and out of this place, just those 2 doors.
There's no way that someone coming in from the sleeping quarters wouldn't have been spotted. Unless he was asleep, I guess, but it does look like it was cut from behind, yeah.
Or he was trusted.
I mean, that is a good point, yeah. Or this was someone he didn't expect to. Does a slit through gesture. Interesting. Also interesting. Why hasn't this been found? It's known the guy's missing. It's known he had some associations with people the wrong side of the law. And it's known he owned this property, right? We sold it to him legitimately. There's no reason that wouldn't be.
I was gonna say, you sold it to him. I don't know about legitimately. Like, there was definitely
Okay.
there was definitely a just you just left with money. You didn't do the
Okay.
long drawn out process.
We sold it to him. Then I'm gonna say, I thought the captain sold it legitimately, but still.
You think I've got a business mind?
This guy
So
was
sleep
known
well,
as
Siren.
associate.
Thanks for
Sleep
joining.
well.
Very
Siren.
excited.
This guy was a known associate, right? Of us. He was someone who. There's no way they didn't know that he had done business with us. Right?
He was also the type of guy that would make sure that if you were like air quote business partners on any level, like he'd be the type that would boast about it. I remember that much about his personality. He was quite like a, he wanted to be considered like a big kind of boss,
Right. Yeah.
Very
So-
very loud of mouth.
You're in the same city as the Steward HQ, right? You are maybe in business with this guy. He's, you find him, maybe you go with him. You find him in a place, whatever the case, that is probably not too hard to link to him. You either ambush him, catching him unawares somehow, despite the, gestures to the door, or just by jumping him when he doesn't expect it, because he trusts you, or because he's, I don't know, just doesn't see you as a threat. I mean, who? What are you? What's your purpose? You're a gangster, maybe? Okay, but if you're a gangster, aren't you going to try and set an example? Why are you doing it all cloak and dagger? I mean, don't get me wrong, disappearing people can be its own example, but you're disappearing someone by just leaving their body in a place that probably isn't that hard to link them to. So if anyone was looking, seriously looking, I think they'd have found him.
Zig,
So
if you
that tells me
1 second. So Zig, you can do a mysticism roll if you want. When you're
Sure.
looking over the body, yeah. And please continue. Like
Yes, please.
that tells
Kaboom.
me you're probably not too worried about
Not the
him being
best.
found. If you're not too worried about him being found, why is that? Because you think you're untouchable? Because you're a big hotshot gangster? Or you're just a
Or you
assassin?
want him to be found.
Or you want him to be found and just blind luck he isn't? Either way, whoever did this on Versus within pretty easy travel distance, you can walk it easily. Not quick, but you can walk it and back in a day. Waste most of your day, but you could do it. Within easy travel distance of the Stewart HQ. And you just leave it like this. That's what are you thinking when you do that? What are you thinking? Why like I'll kill this guy. He'll definitely get found and he just doesn't. Okay, fine. That's But if you don't expect him to get found, what are you thinking?
as you're sitting thinking about that, yeah. So Zig, you have a look at the head, probably like as part of the medical check you did. There is something familiar about what may have caused the throat cutting. It's definitely like mystical after effect.
Okay, cool.
But you did not roll high enough to put it together, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fair. I rolled a 3, so
Yeah.
not good. I think Zig would just, I guess, say there's a
the
wee
best-
bit
I
of
was gonna say the best you've got is probably like magical pointy thing.
yeah. I think he just goes. There's a little bit of magical residue, for lack of a better term.
He was killed
I
with a
mean-
magic weapon?
Yeah, maybe the person who killed him did it from elsewhere. Magic stabby thing, perhaps.
If they killed him
It's
from
so faint that I
distance
can't.
without being present, they probably wouldn't. He does the throat cut gesture again.
Yeah, that does seem unlikely.
So, probably they were here. And they came in undetected. Now, let's say if they've got a magic weapon, maybe they have some degree of magical ability, or maybe they've got magical technology. Maybe that's how they get in undetected. Maybe they slip through a wall. One of us could. Well, actually, three of us could do that. I'm not sure about Captain.
You just go through the wall, right?
They could have come in right here, immediately behind them, cut right back out. Or maybe that window wasn't broken by the most recent occupants. Maybe they break in the window. They know he's gonna be absorbed at work for whatever reason. They know what he's up to. They know that there's a big, thick door between them and him. And they know that, the other route, well, several walls. So, come in the front door. They wait. They wait for him to step out, get something, to go to the toilet, whatever. They, and then they hide, and then they ambush him. They've got magic, so maybe they don't have to hide properly. Maybe they're invisible. There are a lot of people who could do something like that. But
Yeah.
skilled mysticism, assassination, this doesn't read like organized crime to me. Not at the low level, anyway.
No.
Even Aspis would usually be more blunt than this, frankly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, he's been dead for maybe, what, 6 months? The fact that there's still any sort of magic residue suggests some form of competent
That's a very, very
magic
magical
use.
blade.
Yeah.
We know someone who's been here, wields magical blades.
And is very good at sneaking onto things.
True.
None of you were bitter at all with that statement.
I think I know where he's gone with us.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm 100% going there.
100. Yeah.
I'm not coming out and saying it, but I think it would be understood.
I wouldn't be. It doesn't seem right with their scope, for sure.
But what would be the motive, I think, is the question in that case. She's not the kind to just do this,
To nobody.
She'd have to have a reason to get rid of the guy for her. It'd have to be a damn good reason. So, get, communicator device. Have a look. See what you can find. I'm going to do the same.
Just kind of. I guess.
What did this guy have anything that might? I mean, I don't know where her current standing with Abadar is, but is there anything that he might have done to get on the wrong side of Burler?
Wonder. Like,
Can
just
you
need more about him.
Oh, okay. This is awkward, but can you get information from
No.
from a dead man?
Do you know what? My good friend.
Can you actually?
Zig is going to. Hold on,
He's
I
done
do
this
have
before.
the spell. I just don't know where it is.
He's done this before.
I can't
I
remember
have
that.
done this before.
Oh man, I'd forgotten.
It's actually. Hold on.
It was on Absalom, I believe. With zombie people,
Okay.
if I remember right.
Oh god, that is ringing a bell.
When we were going to save Shakos.
Yep, the Team Shakos, yep.
I need
Do you know what I
to
love?
double
How
check
much we've
that I
done in
don't
this game.
have a
The sheer
better version
volume
of it.
of it all. Like, remember that time we did that thing? No, it was about 100 sessions ago. That's why you don't remember.
God, man, yeah.
Right, next game we do, I might just start as like level 10. Right.
And then Zig reminds him that he has done this before. And he goes, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah."
I think this is the only one I
On the
have, so it's not
station.
particularly useful, but I'll try it. So Zig's gonna go down, touch this disgusting dead man, and cast
He
Grave
should be
Words.
pretty dried up at this point, to be fair.
Still gross. So I have a 10% chance of this information being useful that it speaks. But it will speak for well, it'll speak for a few seconds anyway.
Okay. Interesting. So, let's go to page 359. Let's have a quick nosy at the full. We'll have a quick glance at it. 359. How ridiculous is it? Also, it's not on 359, it lied to me. Unless I just can't see it.
That is entirely possible. This was before we could drag them on, so it's my copy.
357. That's what it's on.
357.
Yeah.
I shall update that.
So, necromancy language dependent, 1 minute touch, 1 dead creature, 1 round, no saving throw or resistance. You can force you touch corpse to talk to you, but you can't ask it specific questions or communicate with it at all. That's weird. The corpse utters random sentences for 1 round, with a 10% chance that the information useful information might include warnings about dangers in a wrecked starship, the password to unlock a computer, or the where the fuck were you on the Kivallari? Honestly, you
Yeah.
I know.
Question. If I
Just go
remember that you
around,
have
like,
this,
just like getting every corpse to just say something and eventually hope that one of them says something
it's
useful.
actually a great idea. We should do
Yeah.
this more often.
Yeah, it's a miracle that Zig for some reason had to turn up to that particular ship late. Who could possibly have guessed why? Weirdly, it was actually not even my doing, it was Zig's schedule, right? From what I remember. So
Isn't it always?
yeah.
Well, though, if we
It
had
is.
to remembered about it, we would have had time today as well.
Mhm.
We just forgot.
There was a lot of running around, like the Benny
There's
Hill
not,
theme.
there's not even an excuse, we just forgot.
Zora tries password. Yep, beep, one Claude typing at a time. Yep, holding a zombie back with one hand. Just like, wait your turn. Zombie, nope. Right, where are we? So, useful information. Unlock computer,
But also, I think Zig doesn't particularly enjoy his necromantic like side of himself. It's like it's a side to him that he is very aware of and is not
I think that's fair,
he's not overly
especially
jazzed.
given what you've been through on Versus with your your capabilities. Versus definitely opens Zig's eyes. Right, so it does say here the GM makes the percentile roll in secret and decides what information is useful or not. The corpse goes out babbling. Once a corpse has been subjected to grave words by any caster, any attempt to cast grave words on the corpse fails. A corpse must have a mouth or means to speak in order for the spell to function, and the spell doesn't affect a corpse that has been turned into an undead creature. So there you go, that might have scuppered some of the Kivallari. Not all of it though. But some of it. So, you cast this on this dude, okay?
Yep.
And you hear horrible guttural rasping for about 6 seconds.
Oof.
Well, that was horrible.
And you can
Sorry.
probably guess that the throat's been cut deep enough that, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can talk even when they're pretty bad, you know.
What I will do though is, I'm actually just going to roll it publicly because the fuck cares about secret rolls. Well, hey!
Holy
Look at
moly.
that! Look at
That's
that!
a 9 and an 8.
So, you get One word you can make out through all the guttural raspings.
Oh.
Abadar.
Knew it. I knew that was going to be the word.
Well, I nearly said the bank, and I went, that's 2 words, Ryan. Can't do that.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Might not be
Okay.
furler, but
It's definitely.
it's an escate.
Yeah, this is not the best.
Alright, Lyko, your comm goes.
Oh, shit. I'll look at it.
Yeah, it's a message from an unknown sender.
Hmm.
And it has like a bunch of like, you know, coding jargon at the start of it. And it says, you're about to have company, hide. CC.
Zig, hide.
Yep, okay. I did not take invisibility as a spell.
Or Magic
Did
Blade.
I actually? Or magic blade, or magic blafty.
The opposite of invisibility. Visibility.
You're no longer doing
Glows.
women, right?
Stand in the corner, put a lampshade over your head and just glow.
You're a good idea, man. I'll just stand extremely still, like a bit of taxidermy. Like,
I'm gonna stand very still in the corner and use.
Your operative
If I can,
stealth bullshit, yeah. Yeah.
I can
I'm
bend
just-
lighter myself.
Mhm.
I'm gonna unglow, obviously.
Yeah.
And I guess just attempt to maybe hide behind or underneath like the console or the whatever. I'm just gonna roll stealth.
Okay.
That's for a minute. I'm not gonna turn it on just yet. Then
That's okay. And yeah, so use a
I'm gonna
Take a
hide
position.
sort of like
and like,
work in the corner.
what's your passives perception wise? If you even have access to those numbers.
I
I did not even know there was a
Don't
passive perception.
know.
I
in this game.
assume there is one, but I don't know what it is.
But what's
my-
your bonuses to perception?
24 before my extra stuff.
36.
Yeah, so I think
Wow.
you both just hear this. That was an easier way to get your passives right. So yeah, I think you both just like hear the noise of like what sounds like obviously like an anti-grav engine like landing outside.
Um,
And then like after like a couple of moments, you hear like the wrenching of like metal as if like the main like door's opening.
yeah, just like a second after that, I will activate the
Mhm.
cloaking field.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, it lasts for a minute. It gives me a 10 bonus to stealth checks, and I'm gonna roll stealth to be hiding right now. If that's
Sick. It's like I'm gonna just assume you're hiding under that guy's chair.
add 10 to that, 59.
Yep. And after a like couple of seconds of like that like main door like noises, like your comms buzzing.
I silence it quickly.
'Kay.
And look. No, in fact, no, I don't. I just silence it.
Okay. And then after like a couple of seconds, you hear like like a fairly heavily muffled voice shout something. But given that I'm assuming both of these doors are shut that you are in the office too.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Yeah.
you can barely hear. But there's definitely like as if someone's yelling or yelled.
I'm gonna.
So it's been like about 6 or like 7 hours, like all in this trip just so far, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just because I know we've not talked
My
about time or
shield,
whatever.
my cloaking field restores pretty quickly. So I might sort of like try and like, I don't know, hide myself in under the table or something.
It's just
and
like
then just like
in with Zig,
deactivate it.
basically.
Is Zig in under the? Sorry,
Yeah, Zig.
thought
I've said that
was under
Zig's.
him.
I was gonna say, well, Zig's under the chair.
Okay.
Yeah, but remember that place is kind of trashed. So if you just like hide under the crap, like the rubbish, you can, I suppose.
Yeah, just hide like in a pile of rubble
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, I'll plop sig there.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to give me another stealth roll?
it's gonna be worse because I've deactivated cloaking, but it comes back in like a minute.
Okay.
It's not as good, obviously.
Yep. Well, you get like 1 round per minute, so that's not bad. That's what you get back as your
Yeah.
recharge. I would say you've only used 1 round anyway by that. But yeah, and you heard like the yelling again.
Just mentally, just wait it out.
I think Zig's just getting kind of like he's got like the little like I'm just waiting for this to be over like leg shake drummer syndrome going on, but yeah, he's just gonna
Likely your comm buzzes again.
I've silenced it now, so it shouldn't be too noticeable.
Yeah, like when I say buzz, I just mean like I assume yours is set to like vibrate or some shit anyway.
Yeah. I'll turn vibrate off as well, actually.
Okay.
Having noticed that, and I'll just quickly steal a glance at it.
Yeah, it's Article 1. It's calling you. And they're calling, which means they're, at least in like orbit, if nothing else, in system
Yeah.
orbit.
I think I just ignore it for the time being.
Yeah. Okay. Again, like every so often you hear like the yelling.
Does the yelling seem like it's just coming from like the main hangar bit, or does
Yeah.
it seem like they're like using the whole?
No, it's for as best you can tell, given how muffled it is. It does sound like the yelling's coming from that main like hangar room.
Obviously, my instinct is that it's her, but
Oh, there's no
that in
guarantee it's her.
itself
Yeah.
that would be very odd in itself, right?
Mhm.
I think I can sneak through the doors quietly enough.
Yeah. So you want to try and like sneak around? You
Yeah,
could try
I'm
that.
gonna sort of like quickly pause for a second to see if I've been noticed, if the sound was noticed.
Hard.
An idiot.
I was gonna say hard to tell, but yeah, like so far so good.
Sick. Saying mentally, but whispering mentally anyway,
Yeah.
because instinct. I'm gonna try the door. I get into the common area so that I can hear through, hear through the thinner wall door sort of things. And then I'm gonna try and quietly go through that door. You want a stealth throw?
Yeah, sure.
It's 42.
Nice.
Answer
gonna-
to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming
Zig
there's
would
no
like
one here.
follow
So
cautiously behind, like a decent enough away.
that's fair.
Just in the off chance something's gonna go down. With the idea of if it looks like someone's just about to like shoot Lyko, he'll kind of be ready to do something,
Okay.
like shield other or something like that.
And then I will do the same again.
I guess I should probably read stealth as
This is
well.
37.
30 seconds.
This is quite tense.
Yeah.
I'll roll a stealth as well, just for seeing as well.
Yep. So, are you wanting to try and like creep that door open and look through?
That was for that one I rolled. Sorry.
Yep, that's just like getting into this room. I mean, like now that you're
Yeah.
here,
Yeah, I want to listen for a second, see if I'm hearing anything through the
Yeah,
other side.
and,
to help
like-
me get more information.
if you wait like a certain period of time, you'll hear the yelling clearer this time, and it is someone just shouting Lyco.
And do I recognize the voice?
Roll a wee perception.
Sorry.
Definitely reminds you of Article 1.
That being the case, I will gesture to Zeg just through the sort of slightly open door to hold back a sec, just
Yeah,
in case
that's
there's an
fine.
issue, because CC did give us a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Zig will
And then I
just
would
stay where he
step
is.
through. Article?
And then like she kind of like turns, got her shades on. She's there with like her hand on like her hip where like her gun is. Her other hand's like kind of on her hip as well, as if she's just waiting there. But she's clearly there, like looking like she's standing casually, but clearly like able to draw her gun if she need to. And she looks like
Hey.
it, and she smiles. And she goes,
Sorry.
"Why the wait?" And it's also hyphenated, so it's the whole thing.
Article 1. Sorry. Yeah, it's...
That's okay.
There's, well, we're going to have to call this in. We may have stumbled on that crime scene. I apologize. When I heard someone entering, hunkered down just in case. But I think whoever did this is long gone.
That's what you called me here for?
No, but we can walk and talk.
And there's nods. Takes like another look around the room. She's like standing in the doorway. It's kind of like being pried open with like the equivalent of like a cop tool. And
I'll mentally say to Zeg, it's Article 1. Be cautious, but I think we can mostly trust her.
you'll be
And
on to
then I
Zig.
will.
What does Zig do then? Do you want to stay there? Or are you coming
Zig
forward?
will-
Zig
and then
will like
head through.
step through, but not unless Lyko's like leading her in this way.
Yeah, I think that's the plan, right? Like I think that's Lyko's suggestion.
Yeah, so Zig will just stay put then, and just await whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I have a token for her. I thought I had. 'Cause we definitely had art for her. Article 1, where do you live? Where do you live? Yeah, so remember this is kind of what she looked like, but we had like android colorings over.
Yeah.
So there's that. Oh, I've shrunk the map. So what I'll do is I'll just use a... What will we use? We'll use a stand-in token for now. And I think I will choose... Where is it? Where did it go? Yeah, that'll do it for now. So, not exactly what she looks like, but it'll do. Says, what am I looking at? And she like follows you.
We've got a body in here. It's old. 6 months maybe. But obviously, we wouldn't have called you specifically for that.
Yeah, like does that raised eyebrow like inhale thing of okay. And then like if she notices Zig, I assume you're still there, Zig, in the doorway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like her hand goes to like her gun and grips like the.
It's kids with me. He's a friend. We weren't here in official business, so I saw no problem in having someone from outside the service with me.
Why are you here?
Oh, this building we used to use it as a front.
And it gives you a raised eyebrow. A front to what? She puts her hand up and goes, "Do I want to know this?"
It's probably better that you don't. Anyway.
Carl was a perfectly legitimate business.
Anyway, it was sold to a dwarven businessman whose name is unfortunately escaping me right now, but
Should we just rename him? I think we should just get him a new name, right?
I think he's you'll see. and then I would continue. Presumably, Zach would also move. to allow
Yeah,
you
sorry.
to- no, it's just
I'm
I
going
like that
through
I
my
just
spell
step
list.
over you quickly.
Right, so there was a few options here, but I think this was like clearly the best choice here. Out of all the options I got, I think Durafet Battlebeard is clearly the winner.
Durafet Battlebeard. Yeah.
Battlebeard.
Yeah.
Sick. Battlebeard. Does that sound right?
That sounds familiar.
There was another. I think there was another one that maybe we dealt with at one point. The same organization, but yeah. Durafit? Sounds like a battery, but I think that was his name. Anyway, I think this is. It's hard to tell. It's kind of.
So that's your leader down the corridor.
And yeah.
Then, like, if the door has been left open, she gets like a whiff of the smell.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yep, I know where this is going." She like puts like a
Yeah.
walks
Here
in.
he is.
Huh? It sees like all the kind of like footwork on the floor, from like the dust.
Yeah. Had a bit of a moment when we heard you coming in, and we sort of went to ground.
Right.
Unfortunately, but I don't think we disturbed anything but dust. Zig, we might as well discuss this first, since pressing matters. Tell her what you told me about the wound.
It seems to be caused by some form of magic, either a magic blade or caused by some form of like perhaps a magic sharp thing, maybe done from like a distance or some invisibility thing or something. There's definitely magic involved, but it's too faint for me to pick out what
Does look like an
exactly.
ambush as well. At this point, he
Um,
seems to have been caught unawares, probably while he was in that computer, which has since been destroyed. Another thing. Zig is a very capable mystic.
She gives you a look and a nod.
Zig
He
just nods
wasn't
back. Yeah.
just able to glean that from the body. We got a word out of him.
She gives you a funny look when you say that. I thought you said he died about 6 months ago.
Yes. Admittedly, the word was very garbled. Managed to get, well, I guess you could say we got a sentence, but it was mostly just.
Are you telling me you have interfered with the crime scene?
Interfered is the wrong word.
She blinks.
Interfered is, let's say, a word, but he has done so under my order because I thought he might be able to retrieve information that others couldn't in a time-sensitive manner.
Right. So this word, this garbled word.
Aspis.
No.
Avatar.
Avatar. Sorry.
That would be
Avatar
bad if we do.
is what I meant to say.
Just Zig's actual master plan. Blame Aspis.
Oh my god.
Aspis.
Yeah, like
Demigash.
Demogash. Just go bigger, just Demoratosh, right? Let's fuck it. Like, just take out the Devourer. Yeah.
Fucking God, man. God fucking took it out, man.
I mean, to be fair, the Vest probably believed Demoratosh probably did cause this, ultimately.
Yeah.
In the grander scheme of things, yeah, the bigger picture. But yeah, so Article 1 looks at you and says, this guy was involved in a... Well... She kind of like looks back at you, like, oh...
He wasn't the most legitimate businessman in the world, yeah.
No, he had bad blood. Was the bank.
That was an assumption I was making, but I'm not surprised to hear you say it either. It's I couldn't have proven it, but that was my instinct. Now, maybe he just mentioned the bank because he hated them. I'm guessing when we call in the headquarters, if we can get them to send some other mystics that can verify what Zig found in the wound, because I know they're not going to just trust our testimony, obviously. They're going to want to check that.
Yeah. And there are people who are far more skilled at reconstructing magical residues than I am.
Sure, but you're good. Don't sell yourself short, kid.
She puts like a hand up between your exchanges there, and she goes, and just like lifts it up to like her earpiece, and you know her comm on her wrist glows, and she goes, "This is Officer Article 1," and then she requests the entire like CSI team to essentially turn up at this location, and then just dismisses with the admin of that. She goes,
Nod of approval.
"Perhaps we should leave this to the professionals, gentlemen."
Yes. Let's.
Yes.
I'll let her lead out. I was going to say, just as we sort of do.
Yeah,
I think they're going to find exactly what Zig found. I think they're going to find magical blade was used to cut his throat. I think they're going to find he didn't expect it. Combine that with problems with the bank. You know what I'm thinking, right?
She like gives you a look as if, please go on.
I've seen what an S-Kate can do.
Problems with the bank? She like kind of teases you slightly.
They were resolved without. Well, we were unharmed.
She kind of gives you a look again, and it's that look she gave you earlier, which is, do I want to hear this story?
No, she was fine as well. It was the casualties. Well, actually, she did die briefly later. Weird story, but she's back. Strange woman. Anyway, not back.
Is this
like
common for you?
No, she's just alive, like magically alive. She got the easy route.
I think like Article 1 does just laugh at that, like as if she didn't laugh, she wouldn't know what to do.
Do that apparently. They're god magic. Ugh.
Yeah, I think like after she laughs, she kind of like shivers that off, like because the awkward laugh of if I don't say something, I'd look weird, and then she goes, right. So, we're gonna go.
Yeah, we should do that.
Let's go. And then like she leads back out to like the main entrance, and you can see like she's got like a pretty damn upmarket shuttle, like a personal vehicle. Like, Zig, do you want to roll piloting when you get a look at this thing?
Sure.
Yeah. You can as well, like if you want as well.
Coming right up.
Yeah.
Because it's not it is definitely not a stewardship.
I think probably all I can see is this your personal vehicle.
And then she kind of just goes, huh. And then Zig, yeah, like you can tell this thing is it's probably got a Drift 5 engine.
I think Zig doesn't say anything, but he's definitely like mentally like pretty impressed. He likes, this is nice.
Yeah, like this.
I'd like to take this bad boy for a spin. Type.
Yeah, like this is. You don't get
like
many Drift 5
even
engines.
Like that big on like
it's
fancy ships and stuff, but this is like even he appreciates this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely designed for like quite clearly like luxurious and fast travel. Like this is definitely
showed up with a Bugatti.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, gestures for you to get in.
Thank you.
Zig
just nods as he goes in.
Yeah, and yeah, like much like Nico had suggested, it is like a very nice, very luxurious kind of a vehicle. And she sits in with you guys in the kind of thing, and then she like taps on like her control panel, like the doors like seal, and then the thing like takes off, and it starts to Clearly, it looks like it's breaking orbit. Like, as in it's working its way up, it's not like flying back to the city or anything.
Where
Right, okay.
are we going?
Oh, you have an appointment to keep. She smiles at you.
See.
And then I think maybe we just leave yous both there.
Yeah.
Right, I know it's been long in the tooth, gang, so thank you very much for your patience. But yeah, so
God damn her.
1.5 days later, I guess you guys get to Abalon.
Wham.
Yep. What did you do for your 2 days in Drift? Anything of note?
Oh, probably dealt with like Alice just talking his hero for something. I don't know. I've got no idea.
Well, I mean, you just can let me know if you have anything in particular you would like to do.
Not anything specific. Just my usual.
God, how bad is this main page? I've not been here for a while. Let me fix this. I don't have an Avalon splash page, knowingly. I thought I had, but then Roll20 broke it. It's best we don't talk about it because it made me angry. Let's just say the dark mode update has been awkward in places. I like it overall, but it's been awkward in places. So, where the fuck are all these ships at? So that one needs to get moved. Finally.
Oh wait, what? How am I drawing?
Avalon.
Don't want to draw. Still back.
It's a mess anyway. So. I wonder how accurate this page still is, actually, based on other notes. So yeah.
There's no lizard scumming pigs on Versus anymore. That should be moved out to Triaxis.
What I like as well is Castroval had the Azure Flare above it, which means it's close enough that I don't need to move it to just say it's above Abalon. So yeah, maybe I'll move it up one. There we go. They can both be there. So yeah, yeah, weird anything particular you want to have done for like 2 days of Drift?
I suppose probably should be some minor ongoing chat with Alice about slowly verging towards do you want the your memories added back in. I don't know, that's probably a conversation that Beard walks into repeatedly over those days, trying to start and then standing there awkwardly.
Yeah, like, well, let's have that scene. I think that's quite an interesting scene for like the three of you to be in. So like, perhaps like Zora, maybe you're trying to point out like what she used to do on the bridge, maybe. Yeah. Are you going to use Finalis to help with this process, or are you going to just leave that off?
Unfortunately, Zora would need Finalis to explain most of the shit. Like, as much as I don't want to deal with two Alice's at once, it's fucking weird.
Speaking of fucking weird, Weird walks in.
Oh, weird. Thank God.
Thank the Morator. Yeah.
Thank the almighty destroyer. Oh, save me.
From
Try to explain how to pilot this thing and what Alice done.
Yes. Well, Alice, I'm sure other Alice has provided a full list of duties as were assigned to you by the captain.
The Admiral, I think, says Alice.
Yes. Sorry. Captain Admiral.
And she just blinks, and then she like stands up from like the control panel.
I'm robbing my lizard temples right now. Like,
Yep. Summoning your lizard gods from your lizard temples. And Alice like walks up next to both of you and like punches you in the shoulder gently, playfully. And she's like, "It's not assaulting a superior officer if you're confused about your rank. Is that right, Captain Admiral?"
Technically, you were the superior officer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just smiles. So I outranked you?
No, you were the second in command.
Right.
This is normal, Alice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She looks over. She looks over at hologram Alice. Goes, "I'm normal, Alice, right?" Finn Alice looks back and goes, "Probably." Alice looks
Why
back
did you
and-
swap Finn back to Finn Alice? Because why?
Weird, didn't I think it was a Lyco?
What? No, it was weird.
No, it was weird.
Was it? I thought it was Lyco for some reason.
Oh no, I
What?
didn't like the. I don't like. It makes me really uncomfortable.
I never liked it before Alice was here.
Poor Finn.
I mean, I liked Finn.
Mhm.
Finn was
That's why I
fine.
said poor Finn. Yeah.
Now his identity's been robbed
Mhm.
by Alice.
Mhm.
Poor Finn. We need to get old Finn back. No offense, Finn Alice.
She just shrugs. Liz doesn't know how to respond to that.
I can switch it back if I can switch Finn back to Finn if you want Captain. I just thought it would be useful to have some of the details of Alice included.
What happens to
Nothing
the
to-
Alice bits?
Um,
Do you
I mean,
want
I'm
them
not
back?
any techno wizard, but is there a chance that there's a chunk of old Alice that could be redeemed from Finn Alice?
The phrase is technomancer, but yes, I believe that might be possible.
Alice has her hand up at this point.
I would signal to go ahead.
I think I am one of those.
You, well, if she means like AI, that is.
He goes, "No, a technomancer."
Oh, yeah. That seems about right.
She kind of nods and looks at you weird as if, like, just looking at you as if, "Are we sure about this guy?" Like, side eye that she gives you, briefly. Whether or not you pick up on that is a completely different story. But yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah. So what does it involve then? You take the Alicey bits out of that Alice and then you put them into me? How do we get them into me from her?
I assume there's a neuro technological interface.
Captain, is there one of those?
Well, at one point you put you in, so I mean,
Yeah, but I don't remember that.
you don't remember much, right now.
That's true.
So
Just nods.
I'm assuming there's a way to reverse it.
That should be.
Alice, do what I did to you, to me. And then the hologram just blinks. And goes, I guess permission to do what she did to me to her?
I think she should give you permission.
Do you know what she did to you?
She gives you a look. It just tells you, nope. Just,
This is definitely going to go well. I think.
then probably not the best idea.
she looks relieved. She goes, oh.
We don't want Alice to become even less of Alice.
Yeah. I mean, I think either way this goes, Captain, you'll have less Alice.
I have less Alice's, but not necessarily less Alice.
One Alice is enough. No offense for Alice.
And she looks at Alice and goes, "Sorry, no offense." And Alice goes, "Oh, okay. So where do I go?"
No, God damn it.
And she just looks at
So
you like expectantly, like, "Oh,
Right, change the subject. So at the moment we can't figure out how to get old Alice into Alice.
okay." So I'm new Alice. Points at
No,
herself.
you're Alice.
Right, I'm Alice.
Oh my god.
Okay. So I'm Alice, and that's old Alice. And, like Alice waves, obviously.
Parts of parts of you. God damn it, there's no old, there's no you. There's just Alice. You're Alice.
That's me. Okay. Maybe we should work on this.
Absolutely.
Okay. You seem informed. Alice looks at you weird.
Okay, yeah, okay, alright, right, that makes sense.
I have been informed of certain things, yes.
Factually correct.
Are you any good with the neural pathing of AI constructs at all?
I understand some of the principles.
Okay, Captain, do you understand anything about neural pathing AI constructs?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Captain, permission to use weird in this project.
Granted.
Okie dokie.
And while you do that, I will do what I do. Which seems to be nothing.
You say just looking around the bridge.
You got here to delegate. You didn't learn to fly your own ship. What do you expect to be doing?
You're here as the political clout. That's why you're here. It's the name, the brand.
Yeah, the hashtag brand.
Also, I guess the literal brand. You know, the Doshko as well, I suppose.
Oh, that could be a brand. Yeah, you could
Ah.
brand someone with it.
Yeah,
I don't want to brand anybody with a Doshko.
that's fair.
Why not?
It's immoral.
I mean, is it? What's it for, right? You know, it's you hit people with it. They're probably, if they don't get killed, they might get branded.
Yeah.
It happens. It's fine.
Or maimed. I mean,
Or named. Wait, maimed. Okay,
Maimed.
named made
Or
more
named.
sense.
Names.
I like that they get maimed. I was confused about the naming.
It's a very vast process. You get named. You survive a fight. You know.
They name you by literally branding you with your name. You are maimed with your name.
So anyway,
just somewhere on my body's like the abyss. Like,
Yeah.
like
it's probably a cool Vesk tattoo, though, right? Like, yeah.
I'm imagining it more being like the mom heart. In fact, no, that you'll be like whatever mom's title was in a heart. Assuming mom had a title. If mom didn't
it's
have
an
a title,
anchor,
she
obviously.
isn't worthy
Yeah.
of a tattoo.
That was what the mother was called, the anchor. Yeah.
Such a good motherly name.
So
It
anyway,
is actually kind of.
so
Yeah.
back in the room, Weird, would you like to spend the time in Drift trying to help Alice and Alice?
Yes.
Okay, how would you like to go about this?
Correctly.
Yes. I suppose my best bet is to try and look up information on the neural implant stuff that kind of is one of the mechanic basics. It's my best bet.
I don't think anyone's watching anymore, and I don't understand why.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it tells me I've got 5 viewers, and
Yeah, but I think that's us.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't count as a viewer on my own channel, so
Okay, well,
I'm
there's
not you.
someone. Hi, someone.
yeah.
Hello, lurker.
Um,
person.
Listen, all I'm saying is,
I think my
do you really need to go to bed, Siren?
I
If
think
you're watching this back later.
I think my friend Robbie's still watching, or at least it has a tab open maybe.
Hi, if you are.
So yeah, He's lovely that way. But yes, do you think I made an engineering roll first? I guess then we'll start the ball there, since you're going it from the mechanics point of view.
Yes.
Return.
Character sheet is just loading.
It's okay.
Please
That
go.
is one of the things your action figure says. I like the
My
phrases.
character sheet is loading.
like Zig would have something the doobly do. Just so
Yes.
you know.
Something.
That's a
The double
46
little.
engineering.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you think if you can somehow, like, I guess, parse the data from the OG Fin code, whatever of Alice was there that wasn't integrated, could then ideally be put into Alice. However, this is not without a good risk because you're adding coding into somebody's brain already. So yeah.
That's just what I do.
Yeah, like there is a.
Android.
If we're thinking about it as transplants, there is a chance for the code to get rejected. Let's put it that way. That would be bad for Alice, but also if it works, it is likely to put whatever Alice was before she left back in this Alice.
Yes. Worth the risk.
Do you tell Alice any of the minutiae I just told you, or you just keep that to yourself?
I'm sure she understands.
Okay.
Okay, she definitely doesn't, but that's
She's a techno wizard.
So, what's your plan now?
Guess we can start building whatever equipment we need to cable the brain together.
Okay, yeah, I think you could just have done that with your roll already.
Yeah.
Yeah, your engineering roll to like build the machine if you want to keep going with that, yeah. Reasonable well.
Guess it'll be the computer side then to pass out the code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am probably going to make you roll a medicine check in here as well, just as a keeping track of her vitals bullshit. But yeah,
Okay.
a lot of computers and the medicine. Yeah.
53 on the computers.
Mhm.
43 on the medicine.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah,
Saying I do have I've
Um,
got a 31 on medicine.
nice. So yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I knew you were good at like it's not something I would have assumed you were good at, but I knew there was some obscure skill that you were good at. So I was like, but it's a medicine check regardless. So
Anything that's intelligence based, basically, what he's on.
nice. But yeah, like so, as far as you can tell, the process seems to be going as smoothly as it probably could have, based on your obviously highly limited expertise in the field. But nothing seems to be overtly wrong, right? Like if there was something wrong, it would be like super, super, super niche and hidden, and not something you probably could have done anything about, right? So you feel reasonably confident about that, but it is probably going to take her like a couple of days to like come to after her brain like fucking reintegrates that code, and then I guess maybe defragments what's left of it. So she might be out of the count for a couple of days. It also means like it also means Finn's offline for about the same amount of time, unless you want to do something to try and like cut that time down. You can probably assume Finn might be offline for 5 days at the moment. But if you want to give another wee computer roll or engineering roll or both, maybe we could just cut that time down.
What roles?
Computers and engineering. We can probably do both, and we'll see if we can just cut that time down. Okay, that's okay. Still reasonable. So yeah, like you managed to get like all the Finn's code recompiled, but I guess like reconstructing the systems that you need for him to function, since you probably like took a lot of like his core systems out to make sure they could fit into whatever you built to fix Alice. Yeah, it's maybe going to take you like maybe like 3 of those days to get him back up and running.
Yep.
As well. So
And I will jokingly patch in the my image.
your image, right? Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
None of my personality or anything.
Yeah,
Just
just
my
the
image.
yeah, just the frame. Yeah. Yeah, did you tell the captain anything about this, or
You
the admin, or?
bastard.
Absolutely not. This is a
You
very practical
absolute.
joke.
I don't mean about the
bastard.
image. I just mean about the actual like likelihood of success.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Unless they ask.
Okay.
Directly with the very specific words. What are the? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure there's nothing bad that could come of this.
Yeah. So you drop out Zora of a drift above Abalon. And a lot of the consoles start buzzing at you because obviously you've dropped out a drift above a planet, and you currently have no pilot in the room with you. You are alone on the bridge currently.
Blah, 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 blah.
Abalon!
Weird.
It's Abalon.
Weird. Alarms.
Captain.
Alarms. We've dropped out adrift. Yeah. How do we stop?
Usually with a pilot.
Good. Are you one of those? You're one of those, right? You can do that.
Sorry, Ryan. What's the status of all of our various pilots?
So,
any
Lyko
of
and
them-
Zig are on
any of them
versus, right? Finn Alice is offline. Finn is offline. You, I don't know exactly your piloting skill. It's probably okay, I think, to maybe. Demadvin has never looked like she's been piloting in her life. And, well, Ivan's a 5-foot cube.
I'll be right there, Captain.
Like,
It's great. It's going worse.
Oh,
than I
weird.
thought. We shouldn't have left him alone.
yep.
I've got nothing to blame. Okay. This is not my fault.
Why did you allow me to take all of the pilots offline, Captain?
I've got the most tricky android in the universe running my ship. Help. Just help.
Also, that you did give me the perfect Stephen phrase. So, Stephen, shout out to you, buddy. Bingo for you. It's not my fault, is what you just said.
Yeah, that is
But it's not my fault. I have not tampered with any computers or ship functions.
But you authorised all of it.
All of it.
Not the minutia.
but he didn't understand what he was. He was authorized.
I just signed the documents.
Oh.
So good.
I look forward to you being the new Imperatrix.
Oh dear. Just gets a stand. It's just a thumbs up emoji stamp. Yep.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
definitely leader training, no, that's for sure. Like,
These are the leadership skills that the Viscario look for: decisiveness, indifference.
oh,
I do like to leave indifference as
Potential
one of them.
mass casualty events.
Indifference would be one of like their corporate values, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Vex.
Total
need-
disregard for life.
we definitely need to work on your overtime, that's for sure. There's
We get a pilot.
definitely was an extra couple of steps on top of what I've asked.
Oh dear. So, please roll to see if you crash on Abalon.
Oh, please don't crash an Avalon. Oh god.
Me too.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
It's not great, but it's not bad to stop yourself from like actually like KOing into the planet. Yeah, like it's good enough to stop the ship. So yeah, because probably aren't in the orbit of Abalon just yet. You've probably like stopped shy of orbit. Again, a bit of a shaky pilot role of going, yep, I remember where all the... Maybe like the last time you've had to properly do this, you maybe only had 2 arms, you know? But yeah,
And 2 legs.
yeah, exactly.
I've made a suggestion.
Okay. But yeah, you get there. Yeah, what's your plan now? Is there an orbit? Or like making your way to orbit?
Oh, fuck. What have we got in Abalone for again? I think we asked this last week as well.
Neither.
Oh yeah, for either. Cool. Yeah, I would give Finida a little phone call, little ring-a-ling.
Yeah, you want to calm her? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like your calm rings for a wee bit. Eventually you get like an answer, and it is like, yeah, it's Thanida. And she goes, Zora, my favourite Vesk.
Do you know any other Visk?
She blinks and goes, I'm in a meeting. I was being polite.
Oh, okay. For a meeting? Never mind. It's
I
unimportant.
run you do realise that... Never mind.
They don't teach object permanence with the Visk in Viscarium. Right, okay.
It's another value, yeah.
Object permanence.
Indifference as well. But yeah, so she looks a bit like the fuck do you want vibes, or what you're getting.
Player agency, like what specifically are we actually here for, other than to like yeah, console.
Does anybody remember the answer to this? Because I do, but I want to know if you used to.
Yeah, I mean, partly we're here for medical nonsense, so that Zig can teleport to us. There's another thing going on as well. Were we running some sort of plan past her? Or authority?
Well, the plan
Can you
was
access
like,
to a vault?
I would need access to the vault, yeah, but like I think there was like also the mini plan of like swapping her with Shakos, but that wasn't like in stone.
And now it's much harder.
It's certainly an idea that I had, but that probably won't come to fruition.
Well, try to think. Like, I would word that, I guess. We came to Avalon to have a talk, but if you're in a meeting, we can meet up later if you want.
Do I get to know the subject of the meeting, or is it a mystery?
I
I probably missed a few birthdays, after all.
what would I say to that?
Dinner and drinks.
Did you say that over the captain's shoulder? Like...
Yes.
Yes, dinner and drinks.
She like does that polite smile thing. Goes, sure, why not? Dinner and drinks. Send me a time and a place. I'll send you my schedule. Until then,
okay.
And the comm cuts off. And I think, yeah, maybe just end there with the until then.
That's also an option.
Oh dear. So let me put that down. So Thanida, dinner and drinks. Avalon. And what I'll do is for next session I'll try and see if I can quickly speedrun Zig and Lyko through those 2 days, so they can try and sync up time wise.
We will do the next session at the pace of that REM song. You know the one. The end of the world as we know it.
Yes.
Birthday Gary Feast.
Quake, poison snakes, aeroplanes.
A tournament of lies is all I have to say. Also, birthday party cheesecake, jelly bean boom.
And I decline.
that is a
okay.
great line, I love that line.
So, what would you like to call this session?
The aristocrats.
Yes.
One of these days, right?
Yeah, like honestly, just keep suggesting it. One day, it'll be selected.
I'm unironically going to self-vote again. Not that I normally do, ironically, because I think Shy of Orbit is really good, just because the ending is quite dramatic and
Yeah.
it hints at it without giving too much away.
Yeah, Shy of Orbit. I think as
I
well.
like it.
The reason I like it as well is because like you went looking for like Shakos and she wasn't there. It's like just out of reach.
Also, exactly. Yeah.
See,
Like
so-
Themes, yeah. And now we're being taken somewhere that maybe we're not so sure we want to go at the moment. Yeah, without
did
being
highlight-
asked. So
when you were taken
Yeah.
up, you hadn't hit orbit yet, but you were heading that way. Thus, Shy of
Yeah.
Orbit.
oh,
Yeah, well done, Colin. That's pretty good.
powerful.
I'm just gonna
name.
veto it though because I want it to be until. No, I'm kidding.
Until Dawn. You were going to say for some reason. I also like 2015 PlayStation 4 game Until Dawn.
Yeah, okay.
I never played it. I watched several playthroughs. It looked really cool.
I've already copy pasted Shy of Orbit into the tracker, so it's
I'm
official.
just doing a bit. I committed to
Yeah.
the bit, Ryan. You know me.
It's okay. Right. So goals.
Always believe in your soul.
Yes.
Oh.
Unclarified,
Yes.
but I'm pretty sure I've not succeeded yet.
Okay.
I've not yet clarified, but apparently I'll be doing that soon.
Just occasionally, Zora just starts shooting randomly into space out the window. And hold.
Yeah, just every time like I get a rest, I'll just fire like sunbolts in that direction. Like, fucking, like
One of them's bound to hit
got it.
something. Right, so we've not killed Demogesh, we've not clarified the intentions with the fleet, we haven't killed Matfuck, we've not fixed Tanida's death, we've not enacted the plan with the bioweapon, we've not enlisted Sindale's help with bringing the Bone Siege into the Andy-Orgulus plan, technically, no, I'll give you like restore Alice to unfactory settings. I think we can just say that. I'll say it's done because it was going to take a couple of days, right? So unless somebody goes in with an
and we go
axe,
through- well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations to our sole winner this time.
Yeah.
Mr. Weird.
So if you want to move that across for me, I'll give you
Attorney
that.
at law.
Not bad.
He's not an attorney. I've lied.
Ambiguously rescue Shakos. I think that's maybe needing a bit of a rework now.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm gonna give you a
I
pass.
usually find Shakos.
I think we're probably gonna find her. I hope.
Yeah. And then loop in as many allies into Plan B. That's yeah. So, any thoughts on changing any of the goals? Because we do have a blank one now.
Oh.
Well, I did have a suggestion for a certain Mr. Weird if he wants to just really double down in his winning ways, which was build me some sort of horrific negative energy weapon. I didn't
Yes.
I didn't specify, which I can't say, apparently.
Okay.
I didn't specify horrific, but I imagine a massive wave of negative energy probably is horrific by default.
I would have thought so.
With all the negative vibes.
Yeah, if positive energy were an option, alas, it is not. I guess any energy is positive energy, but even no, that doesn't make sense.
Reference to the horrendously idiosyncratic film Kelly's Heroes, featuring a beatnik tank driver in World War II.
Joe, weirdly,
I haven't
that,
seen
was,
that, but it sounds
that was one of my dad's
like
favourite movies.
something
Mark
that
Hamill
I
on
would
it?
watch.
It is very much a dad's film.
It was, if I remember right.
As I said, one of my dad's
Is that the
favourite
one with
movies.
Mark Hamill in it? He was like a journalist or something.
I honestly don't know.
I can't remember. It'd be a bit early for him. Maybe.
Heroes. Oh, he was like very young. If it was, I'm pretty sure like he was like a baba. If it was, I don't know if it was though.
Does
Not
not
like Christian Bale in Empire of the Sun.
It's we'll report back to you in this chat.
Yes, he was indeed.
He was. We reported
Yeah,
back.
He was
very quickly.
indeed.
It's a film very much of the kind where most people don't realise the hero has in many war crimes. But they're the nice war crimes that you can make cute stories about.
And I'm lying, it's not Kelly's Heroes, it's the big red one that he was in. Sorry, I'm lying.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly's
Red
Heroes
one.
is the movie I was talking about that my dad liked. He probably liked the other
Yes.
ones as well, but that's the one that always sticks in my head.
Bridge Too Far.
Yeah.
I like.
Bridge on the River Kwai is good. I remember that one.
That is a Bridge on the River Kwai is actually a solid film.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was an Oscar-winning film as well.
I was gonna say, I'm
Unlike
pretty
The
sure I
Bridge,
read that
which
as
was
well
very
in
solid.
school. I feel like I read something based on that at least, if not that.
There was also the book that the Colin Firth film was based on
Right.
about the POW from the Pacific Theatre who goes back and meets the Japanese officer.
Okay. Okay.
So that is a very popularly read and studied book, I think. It's very high school English in topic. Yeah.
So, if you can do me a favor, you have a lot of goals, right? And remember, these are like quasi-spendable. So you could acquire, parts and or, access to a negative energy weapon if you cash in some goals that are set there. Okay?
How do we feel about this?
And keep in mind you're above somewhere that probably has access to a lot of good tech, being Abalone.
Should the goal be
that's
something to
true.
do with Avatar?
Also, I did suggest, and then I didn't do it in traditional Colin fashion, that I might have a contact on Abalone that
Yeah.
might be of interest to them. So before next time, I think I will try and work out with you, Ryan, some
Yeah.
details about.
And the more goals you spend on that contact, the more use they can be, I guess. It's a reasonable way to work that, I think, right? Spend one, you can have one. Spend two, it can be like a super, super useful one. Like you can spend for
And all of
convenience.
them in its glass.
Do you really want that? Is that not inconvenient? Or is that convenient at this stage?
That's
No, but now you got
exactly
Buddy.
what we're hoping to avoid.
It's other glass.
Other
Other glass.
glass. Yes.
If we had Pararglass, that's what they would name them in taxonomy. If we
Any
created
pop-
another Urglass, wouldn't their power be shared between the two of them and therefore diluted?
Very potentially. It's kind of the hint.
Conservation of glass.
It was the kind of hints that, what you call them, Sindel gave you.
Okay, so it's not as bad. No, it is bad.
Solving the Abadar involvement.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we're still in friendly terms with the police after that, that might be something we kind of.
Even if we're not, we should probably understand what the filthy
Mm.
bank is up to.
Is Abadar in any way like? Are there any alternative names for Abadar, like Mammon or?
I was very worried you were going to go into, is it some sort of Jewish caricature?
I wasn't going to suggest we make it a Jewish caricature. I was suggesting that it might be.
Okay, so what's this goal going to be? Let's start
not
there.
in favor of caricaturing the Jews, just so we're clear.
So the goal. Yep. Goal. What is it? It's blank currently.
The Abadar I fear isn't bad. How do we word it though?
And you want that as opposed to wanting to build this negative energy weapon.
We could do those both.
Yeah.
We could move something like ambiguously rescue Shakos, which now seems more dubious. Because we could wait and see if she actually does need rescued before we worried about that so much.
And feel free, Colin, to look through like the equipment books and stuff and find something that you would like your weapon to resemble.
I'm going to remove ambiguously
ambiguously
rescue Shakos, and that gives us room for another one. And I can put it back in once we know whether that's a necessary thing. Yeah, I'll try and have a look for a big name.
Yeah, just to give us like a template for one, even if we have to.
I'm going to have to duck off very soon because I've got some needy pups.
It's okay. Well, do you just want to quickly put that goal in, and then we'll have, while you guys are doing that, we'll get Weird's rapid chat. Do you want to do that just now for us, bud?
Yep,
Get
my
stuck in.
wrap up is I thoroughly enjoyed being able to get Alice back on side
Mhm.
online on Fleek.
Yep,
Um,
back on Fleek.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, solving a problem with my small appearance.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm always in favour of Lyco's film noir shenanigans, and particularly when he's accompanied by the sun rat, that really does undermine stealth as a concept. But yeah, I think my highlight is probably Zig going starry form to sneak into a
Yeah.
building.
It's pretty
The
good.
old razzle dazzle technique.
Yep. It is peak rat.
I like to imagine that Lyco's going around in a very film noir black and white setup, and then occasionally the camera just gets blown out
Mhm.
with Zig just doing a thing. But yeah,
No, that's good. That's good.
and I'm very much interested to see where the Abaddon nonsense goes.
Yeah, 'cause that's what we did right in the game. Was another side quest. Yeah. I felt it was
Yeah.
about time to add another one in.
There was that moment. Oh no, I'll wait. Never mind.
Yeah. It's okay.
Carry on.
It was a lot of joy.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Glad we managed to get a game despite Discord's best efforts.
I know that was good. I'd hate to have lost a week to that because we are so finite on those at the moment. So yes, good effort.
Excellent.
Yes, and I'm assuming obviously we normally do this after, but let me know if there's any issues with like same time, same bat channel next week. Obviously in the roll call, you can let me know.
I will say.
You can just let
I
me
have
know.
Just
You
find out.
You can let me know that offline. I just need to say to
sorry.
Alex because he's leaving.
Oh yes.
Yes.
I will let you know if anything comes up, and I will
Perfect.
observe. Usually.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Catch you later, buddy.
Good night, man.
Alex.
Take
care,
it
man.
easy. Bye. And Sig, you can give us your wrap up chat now.
Yeah, it was really good.
Lol. That wasn't.
was.
I wasn't
I mean,
lolling
it
at
was-
that. Sorry.
Stay focused.
Yes. I know it was really Zig and Lyco heavy, extremely so. But I enjoyed our little it kind of feels like the sort of like recharging time that Zig and Lyco maybe needed after the previous session. And yeah, there was that point where I was mentally going, oh man, we could totally just unpack this for the next, 3 years and keep just keep it alive based on this little just revisit all the places and find all the dead bodies and sleuth them all. And yeah, no, I quite enjoyed doing a little bit of detectiving myself. It's not often Zig gets to play the mystical sidekick to the homes of the magic Watson to the homes of Starfinder. So yeah, no, that was really enjoyable.
That's good. Literally there as a medical expert like Watson would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. Admittedly, I did miss quite a lot of the latter half of that. Trying to sort things out. But yeah, no, it was a really good session. It was really fun. And it was nice. It was nice to kind of I guess recharge Zig, although my brain is now fuzz.
Yeah, it's
It
fair.
was great. Thank you for running.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for playing, buddy. Thank you for playing. Always a pleasure. Anything else, bud? Everything?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing where all this goes.
Yes. Me too.
Part of me doesn't trust your contact, Lyco, but just because they're scary.
I mean, my
And I don't
contact will be a
trust the-
cop. So.
I don't trust.
Oh
the
no,
cops
no! This
anymore.
contact that we're meeting is definitely a cop. To be fair. Yeah.
Do you mean
no,
Article 1,
I have
Zig?
concerns.
Is that who you meant?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's. I initially thought otherwise, and I was like, no, that doesn't make sense, Colin.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. I think I know exactly what I want us to use.
It's okay. And can I just go for yours, Lyco?
I certainly can.
Thank you.
I enjoyed getting to sleuth about a bit. I enjoyed that we overreacted, and then it turned out, haha, actually there was reason to be concerned because she ain't taking us where we want to fucking go. And now we're going to have to go undermanned, and at a time we weren't expecting to, into the belly of the fleet.
I think
So
she
that
just takes
has
you to like a
potential.
McDonald's in orbit, though. Like,
I mean, maybe. I think there's definitely a potential for intrigue here, but we should be able to make a hasty retreat if we need to. And I don't think they're going to be outwardly hostile so much as a stop poking around. This is important, kind of.
yeah, be
But
interesting
we'll
to
see. I liked the few minutes that we did spend with others, and I'm sorry for co-opting so much of the time, guys.
So for that, like,
It's
I was
fine.
aware
It's
that
fine.
I needed to give 2 days to you guys because they were going to be stuck in drift for 2
Yeah.
days. But it gives them time to have done that 2 days worth of working on Alice, which is nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed the absolute horror story that was Zig, not Zig. Sorry, Zig was not a horror story this session.
No.
Weird decision making, which was all very in character. So we're clear. It was just yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Very logical given the set goals, but perhaps with a lack of concern for consequences.
Yeah.
And a lack of concern for what some might describe as ethical considerations.
I don't know if we've ever had ethical considerations.
I don't know. I don't think ethics are like one word that's in his like database.
He knows every
Clever
language, but he doesn't
spiritual.
know ethics. Yeah. It was good to pay
Yeah,
off.
he's an
Risky. Paid off.
interesting chap.
Yeah.
Now that has left them in an interesting position,
Mm.
and I look forward to seeing what they're able to do with regards to tonight, and especially considering, as I said, sorry, ow. Especially considering, as I said, I've got a contact so Avalon is Lyco's home world. It's also where the steward who recruited him was stationed, and I would like, if possible, to find a way to work him in, even if not directly interacting with Lyco. I think it would be kind of cool.
So as long as we can have a wee like 5-minute back and forth some
Yeah.
point, we'll catch up on that and make sure all the
Um,
right features are in place. Yep. Sounds good to me.
and yeah, no, it was fun. It was interesting having the dynamic of having Zig along, who is a very different mindset and very different style.
It's almost like the he's with me, don't worry about it vibe.
Yeah, which is good. It was good fun.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed having you there, Callum.
Thank you.
So yeah, an interesting one. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next session, and I'm about to paste in from a chart the weapon that I think
Right. Okay.
we should look at. Bear
yes,
in
yes.
mind, so this is from a ship weapons chart.
Okay.
So you might be thinking, oh, that would explain the ×10, right? No. They're already factoring the ×10. That's an additional ×10
Yeah. That's a lot.
against normal people, right? Again, against anyone not immune to negative energy, that's just instant death.
And also,
So
numbing.
here's my idea: we buy
Numbing.
one of those and blow it up.
It's not a bad plan. Yeah. I just like that it's got numbing.
It's definitely a bad plan, but it's an effective plan.
It's a plan with an effect. That's for sure. Okay. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. Do you want to paste in? Just type in what book it's on as well.
Okay, it's in a weird one. It's in one of the campaign
okay.
books, I think.
Just paste it
actually.
in. Anything else you want to do for your wrap up?
No, I think I sort of said my piece at the start there. Yeah, looking forward to next week. It was cool having the Zigster along with Lyco on his sleuthing, and it did really change the tone of it, and it made it. I think that it added a little bit more of a comedic edge.
It's good. We've got some new NPCs as well in the play, right? So we've obviously got
Yep.
the redesigned Durafet Battlebeard. So definitely had a name that wasn't that previously.
That was
And-
probably just one of the other guys he works with
Yeah.
that we'd been dealing with at that time, you know?
And then obviously we got a wee bit more of Article 1. We got whoever the IGI agent is. And then we got our commissioner, Neil Kolchak. So that's quite good. I like padding out the world a little bit with more people because that's obviously what we need.
You know, there was a thing that I didn't say that I should have.
Mhm.
I thoroughly enjoyed getting to do the how to describe it, the loose cannon.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like to barging into
Yep.
office, barking at a superior
Mhm.
officer, going, "God damn it, that's my case!"
Yeah, that was good. Even just knocking over the file pile, you know, like very much the loose cannon entrance. It was good.
So that was a lot of fun for me. So thank you
Even-
for that.
Even the shirt and loose tie was the most like done with his shit, like type commissioner vibe, or done with their shit. Sorry, commissioner vibe, possible for this poor Sheeran.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have loved it if you'd had him say "Damn it, Quint," but you know, I can't.
That's it. Like, damn it, Quint. Had I thought of it at the time, I maybe would have did that when you opened the door. That'd have been good. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that as well. Even just like their like surprise at seeing you back again. Be like,
Yeah,
you're still working for us? Didn't you die? Like, you know, yeah.
I enjoyed how unsure of me
Mm.
they were, and I tried to like address it and make it more of a like a you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for a reason. Don't worry about me. And I think we sort of worked it out a bit through the conversation, and they saw that I was sort of
Yeah,
clearly
like, Kolchak-
upset for a legitimate reason.
Yeah, and Kolchak obviously was like, wait, you were working on the Kevlar case? Oh, that's interesting. That vibe that you got from
Yeah.
Article 1 as well, but a lot of people have spoke about that. So you're the one that got that? That makes sense. Okay, what do you need from me though? Why am I being bugged?
Yeah,
It was good. It was really good.
it was a good wee conversation.
Yeah. It's these types of characters that I quite enjoy when we like maybe like bring them back. Like, you know, when we need to kind of revisit these types of NPCs. Same as like your informant guy on Traxxas, like with the fancy furniture.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yeah.
I did.
So
Also,
yeah.
it was Bantrids that I was trying to think of earlier.
Right, okay, cool. Right, I know what you mean now. Yeah. If that's everything, then we'll move on to our wonderful captain and admiral.
Damn you, weird.
Oh,
I mean,
That is all good day.
Here are my thoughts.
Yeah.
oh, it was. See, when it got to the point where Weird actually asked, "Wait, who are our pilots on board?" Then realised there are none. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
following orders.
Yeah. That was some. Kolchak was fun.
Yeah, Kolchak was
yeah.
alright. Yeah.
To sideswerve the fact that we've now got two fucking weirds on the ship.
Yep.
That's getting changed back.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, thankfully.
Don't worry. About a couple of days
Yes.
before you notice, so don't worry about that. Finn's offline till for a couple of days, so you're good. Don't worry.
No, you stay away. That's my tour speed.
Yeah.
Mine. Stop trying to steal my card.
Don't
Listen,
take the cards off, you
Elsewhere.
guys. I've
It's
left
going to be
them.
fine. We will fix whatever he's done somehow, despite none of us having remotely the expertise to do it. We'll make it work.
Yeah,
I'll fix it.
He'll fix it. Listen,
yeah, he'll fix it. I believe. Yeah, the little stealth mission was pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Way back to Carhall, a wee reminiscent location.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Carl. Yep,
Yep.
a nice little.
Nice to go
Poor,
back to.
poor Battlebeard.
Yeah.
Got his throat slit.
Mhm.
That's lovely. Yeah.
It's a nice roll though.
Abadado.
That 98 percentile dice roll. Oof, that
Mhm.
was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Abadado. What's SK up to? She's like hanging about with Matva and shit. And well, it's not specifically her that obviously killed.
You say that, but she's
Battlebeard,
also hanging around with Zig.
Yeah, Zach, what you up to, mate?
Look, I have my reasons. I have my plans.
I have my reasons.
Neither of which Zig actually knows what.
Oh, well,
Zig's
I've got
just
plans.
trusting the system. The time system.
Mm. It's all part of the plan. Whose plan? One of the me's.
I
there's,
trust
there's an
myself.
infinite number of me, so that one of us must have a plan. Unfortunately,
I mean-
every Zig has that mentality.
Yeah,
It's not 100%. It's Isabel,
that's true.
but
I
It's
don't
Aunt Isabel.
think it's necessarily Isabel.
Yeah,
No,
like
I don't.
Lyco did state an SK, it's not Isabel. Yeah.
She was
BSK.
my first thought, just because we've
Mhm.
seen her do that to someone.
but do all S-Gates have the same blady
She's
powers?
That's
been
true.
there.
Maybe they're like all vastly different and like.
They could be. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm sure with a better roll, I'd probably have got a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to give you more,
the-
but I'm like, no, it's a bit obscure. So I
No,
was like,
it was like, yeah. I mean, you look at it and go 34. It's not bad, but it's
it's like
roll bad.
it's like a mysticism roll for a 6-month-old corpse. I'm like, yeah, it's a high roll.
Pathfinder bad 34.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I rolled a 3. Like that's how you should look at it. That's
Yeah.
it's not good.
I did try. You got something that pointed you in at least that direction. That obviously then you had your grave words thing, which was pretty horrific to say, like, oh, that'd be a horrible thing to hear. But got used the Abadar direction. Even Article 1 seemed to like corroborate some of that, being like this guy seemed to have issues with the bank. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool to have your death speak ability. That's a cool throwback.
Mhm.
Actually, it was like as soon as that was like stated, I was like, oh yeah, you do have that ability, don't you?
Yeah.
It took me longer than I'd like to admit to get to the fact that it was way back at the Shakos rescue.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, it's like, I do recognise this happening. I remember a zombie speaking to us, and then I remembered there's like only been 2 points where there's been zombies, and one of which like was they that? So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
like
fair.
Yeah.
it's like it's basically a process of deduction.
There are nicer spells that I have that would do a much better job, but they involve the target being dead for like no more than like a week or something.
Yeah. You can time travel back, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, a retrocognition all the way back 6 months.
No
Then
more time travel.
you just watch him die.
No more
an
time
idiot.
travel, please.
No, what would happen is you'd end up somehow killing him yourself.
Yeah,
Through
I'm
some
gonna have to
wacky
look really
hijinks.
How far back I can go with retrocognition though.
Yeah.
Secretly, Zig went back in time with SK, and like they appeared in Carhole. He was about to call the cops, and he's like, "Get him, SK!" And that's actually what happened. It was Zig and SK all along.
Covering his
Yeah.
tracks, yeah. Sneaky Zig. And the boss is Zig, yeah. We know. Mhm.
I mean, it would be
yeah.
an interesting turn.
SCL Cesaro.
Oh, that's good. It's good. That's really weird.
Yeah, that was so good. I do. Yeah. Maybe we need to leave like a Lyco or a Zig with one of, they have to be split up in the group, sadly, I think. We need one of them in each group.
Just for the sake of order, yeah.
And also just piloting. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay. I didn't realize the retrocognition like leveled with you.
Ooh. How
If
far
I
back?
concentrate it for a minute, I can go back a decade per minute.
Oofed.
That's insane.
That's so good.
That's so good. Holy crud.
Yeah, that's damn good. Told you, man. Mystics, right? Best class.
That's brilliant.
So OP. With that, then, guys, thank you all for playing. By the way, that was
Thank you
excellent.
for running. It was awesome.
No, thank you. Thank you to everybody who watched as well. So that is primarily, well, thank you, Siren, and also thank you, Fruitfly, for joining us as well, and everybody else who popped in and said.
I think Alexander
such.
was lurking as well, but
Yeah, he does that. He's a lurker.
he just exists. He's just
Yeah.
there for the points. Let's face it.
Yeah, he's there to keep Fleabite in business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. We know it. We know it's true. Also, thanks, Alexander. I guess you get a wee thank you to it. And also, I guess just shout out to Stephen because he was like, his catchphrase was uttered. So, Yeah, it's
Yep.
not my fault.
It's not
It
my
was
fault.
so good. Oh,
Not my fault.
it's so
Classic.
good. I will just say, why do I keep adding additional plot lines in? I don't know. But until
Because we'll
next,
bite. That's the
that's
problem.
also yeah. It's just
No
because it's
inviters.
interesting. It's just an interesting world to create content for. I hate it for that reason, because it's so it teases me, you know. But anyway, say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
everybody.
Bye.